him off of 3 lore, and fumbles just
Oh,
very,
and he had the
very,
Demona.
ooh.
And the bad manners Demona throwing down at the end. But yeah, I mean, the Ursula Vanessa being able to quest for 3 just like that over and over and over again is pretty rough. You know, you don't really want to battle down with her because, you know, 17 plus 3 is 20. So you just kind of get there after a while. An evasive character with 3 lore and shout out to my Pack Rush game earlier today. I'm not salty about that at all.
Oh, they pulled the Ursula on you?
No, not the Ursula, the Ka, which is like literally an evasive 6/7 with 3 lore on it. And it just sits there and
oh, the big old snake.
Yeah, the big old snake. And you're like, wow.
Also rough.
So I definitely feel that, Joshua, seeing those huge 3 questers. But now we know we're playing into Ruby Amethyst, so we can go ahead and be on the play, get the cards we need, identify the problems. I'm sure Joshua has seen this deck 1,000 times, and when you kind of get got by Ruby Amethyst this set, I think it'll happen, and then you can prepare for it. Now I know what you're gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, I've asked several friends about the Ruby Amethyst Steel matchup, and it feels like everybody I talk to has indicated it's about 50-50. Notably, though, these players both playing a little bit of off-meta spice here. Maybe not off-meta spice, but the Mulan Elite Archer is something that I've been noticing in games that I've been playing lately. A lot of people are pretty high on that. I'm assuming to combat decks like the dogs, where you'll be able to, you know, shift her on, start dealing a whole bunch of damage. Joshua also teching in that Benja that we were both so excited to see. Felt like seeing an old friend, didn't it?
Yeah, I know, because you're like, oh, that's the card. And he's like, oh, it looks real bad here. That's not. And again, this Amethyst Steel deck has a kind of a lot of 3 drops, right? Because that is something that we want. We want to be able to sing that. And typically in your altar phase, you are able to ship the 3 drops away to make sure that you find what you need, because you're going to draw more. There's just a lot of them in there. So a few of them here and there being tech cards like Benja makes sense. And I kind of understand that too. That's why, of course, like, you know, Frank Carson's list from Milwaukee had little 1-ofs and everything, because we just need a good curve, and a couple of those can be tech cards here and there. And that's I do like that deck building strategy, where just so long as your curve is right, having applicable cards for different matchups makes your deck a little bit more flexible. Now it makes it a little less consistent in some ways, but again, I think the 3-drop slot is really important for singing. So long as that's happening every game, if it's a Benja, it doesn't look great, but it's not the worst. And he's
definitely not the 3-drop you wanted to see in this matchup, though,
No.
right? Nothing that you can do with the effect. I mean, I think of Cobra, I think of Lexington, I think Cheshire Cat, any of the other 3-drops would have served Joshua there. So I hesitate to say that Joshua didn't draw too well. It's not like it's not like he didn't. It's not like he missed a turn or anything. But definitely was not the optimal play lines that he wanted to see. And that turning the Mulan sideways with the Lumiere up, the Fiery Friend, that turn, I think, really put Joshua behind in a way that he couldn't recover from.
Yeah, and I also like to point out, too, there was the turn where that he ended up, I know there was like a lot of challenging thing, but he ended up inking the Strength of a Raging Fire and playing the Demona afterwards, which makes me feel like there was a little bit of an uninkable situation in his hand to make it to where like he wasn't able to just play the Demona, then sing the Strength. So there was a little bit going on there that seemed not in his favor, but we do start with our Palace Guard as we see our Diablo. This is our spiteful, watchful, obedient Raven. He's got there's like more Diablos in this game than Mickey, I swear.
I know. I got you. Also, something to note is Joshua Satterfield just inked on the first turn Demona Scourge of the Wyvern Clan, which Wyvern or Wyvern?
Tell me. I say Wyvern.
I say Wyvern too. Yeah. I don't know why I said Wyvern for the first time, but
I've heard other people say Wyvern. I'm like, am I the crazy one? It's like when you read the Harry Potter books growing up as a kid, and then you heard Hermione on the big screen, and you're just like, wait, what?
So, maybe it's potato. Yeah,
that's what I get for not being British.
But one of the that's what you get for not being British. That's just like my grandma always said.
Yeah. Tried real hard.
So yeah, I mean both of them inking the Demona, one of the most powerful cards. I've been doing a lot of research on these Amethyst decks, and must have been something that they picked up in the altar. Definitely something that you don't want to see
Yes.
inked, but sometimes it's just what you have to do it. Showcasing a Madam Mim tiny adversary as well as Lexington. Small in stature, hits the board here. Fumbles. Gonna be interesting to watch how the dynamic changes, right? Once Joshua is the one on the play, we'll be able to have the momentum. I feel like these matches are very dependent on who goes first, as
Woo!
elementary as
Playground
it is to
dependent.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I will say we do see the Black Heron going for little questy quest. Now, that would say our 2-drop would trade for your 2-drop because Diablo is a 3/3 as well. But that Diablo has 2 Lord on it, and you need yours to be able to string a strength. But going first, I don't know how, you don't need 4 power on your strength of a raging fire. Now that Mulan has a little bit more damage on it.
2 damage,
There you go.
yes.
I
Closer
was
to
like,
2 damage.
she's a little bit more hurty than that. She got stabbed right in the bits, so we got to have like 2 damage on her at least. But yeah, we did go ahead and take that trade. I think Fumble's realizing that just getting things off of the board and making sure that Josh does not go too wide here. And I mean, we have some kind of wimpy noodle arms characters on our side. Now we do have the fiery friend buffing everybody up, making him a little bit stronger. And Josh
Oh,
sends that Lexington on a quest. He's not singing anything, huh?
a little interesting to play
There
that
she
down.
is.
I Does Joshua have only 2 cards in hand? I can't tell. I
Yes,
would
I
have
think
thought
being
that
on
you
the play, yes. We
mm,
would end
okay.
up being able to get that Stone by Day effect by being able to only have 2 cards in hand. It makes him Lexington a little bit better on the play. As
Yeah.
come on, Fumbles. I know you made our Diablo a 1/1, but let's do something else. Let's have some fun here. As
Mhm.
because I
Mhm.
mean, it's still you're gonna have to 2-for-1 yourself because again, your Diablo and your Mulan are not gonna be able to take out that Lexington. So I think that was a safe quest over on Joshua's side because
Joshua
the
also Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
I was like, because just Demona is massive, just a wildly,
Absolutely.
insanely large character.
Yeah, betrayer of the clan, 4/6 with a challenger +2. I mean, that's gonna swing in and get a lot of 2, maybe even 3-for-1s on a great day. Um
Oh, however, this is great. I love this Mother Gothel with Diablo because you can go ahead and challenge in, and beforehand you can move the damage and do a bunch of little things here. But we didn't use the Diablo, so we didn't do the thing I wanted to do. But it's okay because we did remove the damage from our Mulan, put it onto the Lexington, and then challenge in our Mulan to the Lexington, taking him out cleanly. Which it's fine. It feels fine.
Yeah, I mean, Joshua here in a position, I mean, maybe questing that Black Heron a little bit of a tell to let Fumbles know that he didn't care so much
No
about the
strength.
character count on board. There was no
Yep.
strength in hand, and maybe Fumbles took a little bit of a different play line than he might normally do. This this Lumiere fiery friend going to be very annoying, giving +1 strength to all characters on your side of the field. Really just the upgrade from the Madam Mim tiny adversary that only gives challenger,
Challenger as
right?
opposed to right. Yeah. And I think we are it's 2-4. So we are going into our Elsa's fifth spirit turn for Joshua. And then yeah, again, one of the things of Ruby Amethyst, we have to play fair games. Am I right? Like no ramping here. So we're still
Both of
playing.
these guys
I
playing the
know, right?
fairest
Yeah.
game possible, right? This is the turn where you would normally just ink and slam down an Elsa, wondering if it's either we don't have the Elsa or
Not
if
for three.
it's that yeah, looks like I or maybe we're having inking issues.
Yeah, it
He's
depends on Joshua's construction of their deck. They might be having inking issues. They might just be drawing, oops, all 3 drops, which is a completely normal thing to do for a deck like this. And again, the problem is what Fumbles wants to do is kind of set up a board and then slam Sleepy Hollow Terror and then slam a Demona right afterwards. And again, that's going to also make Joshua not want to turn sideways. So that Demona will force them to turn sideways. But until then, we're just kind of stalling back and forth until one of us sings a strength or the other one, or we start having Demona Wars. So uh turning sideways is a very scary thing to do with this situation because you're like, you might feel like this Demone is safe being a 4/6, but not with that Mother Gothel on board.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, Joshua going to have a similar battle plan, right? Wanting to
Oh,
get that Demona down, but I think he does have inking issues because he was not able to ink that turn. Fumbles is in the prime time spot to start running away with this game. If Fumbles can put down a card, ink, we're going to go low into the bottom part of the deck, and then it kind of gets a little awkward if you're Fumbles, right? Because notably, Joshua, if he empties his hand on the next turn, even if you're sitting there with 6 ink, do you still want to play the Demona down and refresh the entire hand of your opponent, right? Give
if I
them a
can blow
fresh
your
3
board
cards as
out,
well.
absolutely.
Part of
Oh,
the
let me.
ad saxum, ad saxum
If
taxum,
It's
if
like
you
if
will.
like yeah, Fumbles board is getting wide. I mean, again, we only have the Diablo there, but we do have the Lumiere and Genie notably being a 3/4 at this point. We don't have that many hands available to us. So again, I see what you're saying, and giving the 3 cards for Demona. But the point of this deck is to build up, right? Go real, real wide. So then when I do, basically, I call it Mother Gothel math, and it is beyond me in a weird, like the wildest way, as we do see the Calhoun come down, which in a damage matters moving deck is not the best. Now, again, nothing on Fumble's
Ooh,
side. Ooh, Strength of a Raging Fire right onto the Genie Wish Fulfilled. As
and
we
we're going to boost to boot. But notably,
one.
Joshua has not inked again. Needed too much equity out of that Strength of a Raging Fire to ink it. Now Fumbles is going to be 2 ink ahead if he does elect to ink this turn. Joshua may be emptying out his hand, maybe saying, if you want a Demona, go ahead.
Mhm.
If you want to refresh your hand, you'll have to refresh my hand as well. Sort of in this staring contest. A large part of the value that these decks get is put out your big body characters with a lot of one of the worst cards to see, I think, if you're Joshua, because we
Yes,
don't
like
have a clean answer for any of the
Ursula, Whisper
evasives.
of Vanessa, and boosted down. So again, Fumble's just building a board because again, if that's a, even if that's a Sleepy Hollow, I can't Headless Horseman. What is wrong with me tonight? Even if that's a Headless Horseman tonight, we don't necessarily. Do we just boost and pass?
We're
Now,
just inking and boosting, passing. Yeah.
yeah, let's see. Now that makes me feel like maybe there's an Olaf friendly hand helper there because then we could be able to boost. Okay, so
There we
there's the
go.
Demona. There's the Demona.
Demona, there's the scourge of the Wyvern clan. I got confirmation from Garrick. That's how they say it in the show. So
The
I trust you,
Wyvern.
buddy.
All right.
Wyvern. I didn't
Wyvern
know.
Clan coming on down. Now, this is where it matters. So,
Yeah.
putting that Ursula Whisper Vanessa down is going to be able to cleanly take out that throwing damage. And that was a Diablo and a Doc. That is a lot of card draw. How dare you? Boosting that Cheshire Cat really kind of hurt as we now get to do our Mother Gothel math as a little bit of blur there. So now we can go ahead and we challenge cleanly taking out that and putting 3 damage on our Ursula Vanessa. So now we can go ahead and challenge in with our Diablo, moving to 1 damage, 2 damage, no, 1 damage from the Vanessa, which is kind of
Mhm.
nice. And you can put that onto the Calhoun.
Yeah, I'm assuming we want to take out the Calhoun. We're going to challenge in the Diablo, or do we challenge in the, maybe we challenge in the Lumiere, cleanly take out the Palace Guard, move one of the damage from the Ursula Whisper of Vanessa to the Calhoun, take
Mhm.
it out. And this is the strength, right? This is the absolute back-breaking strength of Demona, Scourge of the Wyvern clan. Even though he is going to refresh Joshua's hand, he gets to dictate when it happens. And now,
Yep.
I mean, Fumbles in an absolutely dominant position. I don't know how you even claw your way back here if you're Joshua. When and the morale that you feel when you watch the doc like
Well,
hit the discard.
And it's Doc and Dumbo hit the discard from the no value situation. Now, are we discarding to gain the 2 lore? Notably, we are at 1 and 4 with Joshua in the lead. However, if we go, we will go up to 6 if we go ahead and discard off of this Cobra. And we are going to discard a Demona, saying, I don't want to give you any cards, but at this point, the 2 lore might have felt worth it for the 4/4. I don't know. I'm probably keeping that Demona because Fumble seems like he's racking it up in card draw as we'll just
Got
go
it.
ahead and dock. And that's probably a good reason why you would just pitch the Demona, is because you're going to draw 2 cards anyway and not give the 2 cards to your opponent. So that seems pretty decent, as Fumbles goes ahead and unexerts his super wide board here. He did exactly what the deck was. He did what he wanted to do. Went wide, played Demona, blew out the board, and the cards that you gave your opponent are fine, you know?
Yeah. It's one of the most annoying things here is that this Demona can take out the other Demona quite easily with the Lumiere. I mean, you got the strength, and
And
now
there's the
now
Headless Horseman just for funsies, you know?
you're gonna
Just a
take it
little
away.
cherry on top. And now that's kind of the
Yeah.
thing too, is like being able to set up the Headless Horseman into the Demona kind of turn is just really, really good. It's kind of exactly what you want to be doing.
And we are gonna quest for 4 here. Ugh. Just a disgusting turn from Fumbles. Not living up to the name. No fumbling to be had here.
Bubbles doesn't
All
fumble.
just complete steady. We need to call him steady hands because this is he is
Fumbles
dominating the board here.
Fumbles lives up to his name during testing, and that is my favorite Fumbles. This is the Fumbles that is locked in, that I would never want to sit across from at a DLC or anything important. But this is the Hades, came in looking for a deal, gave him the 2 cards because why not? My board is insane, and you can have your 2 cards because that's a lot of power. I mean, you'll be able to sing Strength and get rid of, oh, the Headless Horseman, which is going to stick around to make some problems, or we can maybe go ahead and
We're
challenge
challenging
into the
in.
Demona, get rid of that. It's a
Yeah.
little bit better because, again, she's got 2 lore on her and she's just a big, beefy body, but it doesn't look like we're going to do much else.
Well, I don't think there's much else we can do here. Joshua low on
Because
low on
Elsa's so
cards.
nasty. Coming in,
Absolutely.
exerting their only lifeline to for Hades, looking for a deal. So we're going to go ahead and challenge in, move damage, and then continue to quest on and out and to
Yep.
game almost.
Yep, that's 8 lore that just got put onto the board here. And unless Joshua has, I don't even know.
Be
Be
prepared.
prepared.
We'll start singing that in Indianapolis, but for here, it would have to be a mob song. You know what?
Yeah.
So we
Alrighty.
are. Yeah, I think a mob song would be good. I
Mob song.
think.
Yeah, mob
Yeah,
song might stop the bleeding and
couldn't
give you
couldn't
one additional
play it.
turn.
Yeah, don't have 10
Oh,
ink. Couldn't play it. I just, you know, Tinkerbell into a mob song. I just want somebody to come out of the just like bushes with this card. You know what I mean? I want you to be at the top tables and something happens and all of a sudden they're like, I'm gonna go ahead and sing mob song. And you're like, excuse me, what did you just say to me? What did you just say to me?
absolutely.
And I want it to win. Because I want board wipe-esque things that are not emerald. That's what I want.
That's all you want?
Yeah,
The non-emerald board wipes?
I do. Build your own board wipe with the Demona coming down. Gonna draw Joshua 3 card, just 1 card, and then a quick, and then a scoop. As Fumbles takes it at a swift 2-0, going in and showing that he doesn't fumble all the time. Just only at 8
Absolutely.
a.m. in the testing room.
We're gonna come in here and get into the interviews, I believe. But
I'm gonna
who put
switch
that be
over.
prepared up there?
I'm gonna get on in here. Where am I going? I don't know. I can't find it.
All righty. Hello, players.
How you doing?
Doing great. How
I
are
hear an
you
echo,
doing?
by the way. Is that still there? No, it's not. Okay, you're good.
Oh, good. Thank goodness. What a show to put on here. Ruby Amethyst. You know, I am a fan of the deck Fumbles. It was fun to watch you play that.
I'm
Thoughts
here.
on the match, I guess, first and foremost. After that win there, what anything how are you feeling about the deck? How are you feeling about the format in general? Talk to us, Ruby Am.
Red
lovers here.
purple is the only deck I feel something in right now. It's the only thing that makes me smile. It's the only reason I get out of bed. Ruby Amethyst, my dream. I don't know, man. I'm not having fun with like any deck right now. So Zug Zug turn him sideways. Mother Gothel makes me think I'm smart kind of deck. So just having fun here, trying to get by. Win set 11. You know.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel you, Fumbles. Like, Mother Gothel math makes you feel super, super smart. And then by the end of the day, you're like, I did a thing. And then you're like, I caught you in my Demona web. And they're like, yeah, no, you got me. You got me in the web. You're so good at this game. But you are good at this game. And everybody's always like, oh, Fumbles this. But like, you came in, you locked in. Like I said, I was like 8 a.m. Fumbles in the test room is when you earn your name Fumbles. But like, ICL is when you lock in and you never miss. So...
Speaking of never missed, the Elite Archer is a unique choice there, Fumbles. I was wondering if you feel like it's good into this matchup. Is it a tech choice for another matchup?
The 6 cost
yes, the Elite Archer.
Yeah, so I like that card. The problem is that you at most play it as like a one of, and I don't know. Me with one ofs in like random purple decks don't really match. So, I mean, but it makes your opponent always play around it. So, I don't think you always have the illusion that you have it, but you never actually have it, right? But they have to respect it or they lose the game instantly.
Yeah, like that's what happened like game 1. It's like he had the Mulan Diablo out, and I was like, okay, I have to go into the Mon. Because if he just untaps and shifts, I just have 0 chance of coming back.
Yeah, I was watching that thinking to myself, man, that felt like the game turn, especially when you dropped down the Lumiere and then you had to 2-for-1 yourself essentially. So sorry, Color. Did you have questions? Anything you wanted to chat at Fumbles about here?
Fumbles, have you seen the Twitch chat in the last, I don't know, like minute or so?
I'm reading now. So here, I'll help you out here.
We copy pasted you.
Yeah, if Fumbles has 1 million fans, then I am one of them. I'm also a fan of Fumbles. If Fumbles has 10 fans, then I am one of them. I understand that. Thank you, everybody. I was super crashed out today, so this is making me feel a little bit better. Thank you. And also, I got to play against Josh, who's really cool, and we had a good time.
Yeah, Josh, how are you? I got to meet and interview you in Atlanta. How have you been doing since then?
Yes. I don't know. Fumbles and I were talking about it before. What's up?
Oh, I was gonna say, Fumbles has his Secret Santa hat, and you have your bag that you and your girlfriend have with your little dice vomiting thing. I am not gonna ask you about your deck because I want to know about all your accessories. So why don't you tell everybody about your whale dice bag, please?
Yeah, they come in 3 different colors on Amazon. Blue, steel, and purple. We elected for steel. Like we saying steel, dude, not gray. Wow. Gray, blue, and purple. We elected for gray and blue because they're the most whale colors.
You got to keep them whale colored.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, this makes sense. Monstro is approving.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Monstro.
We don't talk about Monstro. That's actually true.
That's the new guy we don't talk about. Josh, I was wondering, in either of those games, if you feel like there was anything you could do. I mean, notably on the second game, you just ran into some ink problems. 2 turns, I believe. You didn't really ink anything. You wanted to hold on to that strength. And then the first game, it felt like even something as small as having the Benja instead of one of your other 3 drops kind of set you back a little bit. But yeah, anything you want to talk about, any play alternate play lines that you think might have been good in the matchup, or were the cards just not in your favor today?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could start on like the strength line part. So my hand was like strength Demona on 4 ink. So if I ink I'm not able to do strength on any of his relevant characters. And if I ink the strength to go into the Demona, I'm forcing myself to have to top deck an inkable plus not have a good board state into his Demona. And so because of that, I didn't ink that turn because I knew, okay, if I draw a 5-drop, I can ink Demona, play it. If I draw another Demona, it's irrelevant. So yeah. And then game 1 with that Benja was really rough. I just could not just was forcing to trade my 3s into his 2s is like obviously not very good. But yeah, just like trying to hedge into dogs.
I was about to say your deck seemed like it was very, very tuned for dogs, especially with the Benja in there, with like the Challenger, Demona, and everything. And then you ran into like, the most popular deck in the format, which is Ruby Amethyst, right?
No, I mean, so the Demona, I've been on Iago's all season, just because it felt like the format. This is like the first format for like Vegas and for CCS. We're just like not respecting Vanish at all. It was like super free. The green decks were like not on improvises at the time. The purple decks were that used to last season play 4 hypnotic strengths. We're now playing like 1 to 2 to 0 hypnotic strengths. But now the format, I think, has kind of caught back up to, okay, Purple Steel plays a bunch of Vanish creatures. We need to do it. Like, most blue-green decks are now playing 4 improvises. Is that the name of the green one? Yeah. 4 improvises.
I held an improvise, or not improvise. I held a hypnotic strength just in case you cobra'd. Like, I'm very afraid of vanishes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just think the format...
Fear.
The format has kind of moved away from that, and to be honest, when I was talking with people I'm testing with, there's only like one matchup where it's like, man, I really would rather have Iago than Demona, and that's purple red.
One.
So
yep.
So
It's not real. It can't hurt you except for when other people do it.
Yeah.
So I said, I was like, I'm gonna bring dogs to Richmond, and then I'm gonna hit the only 3 other Ruby Amethyst players in the room. Yeah. Just like first 3 rounds, and just get cooked. So the deck is there. It is real, and it can hurt you.
I think 2 more.
That's my take.
I think I have 2 more questions. Fumbles, I'm wondering on the first game why you turned the Mulan sideways. Were you just thinking, doesn't matter if Palace Guard challenges into it, whatever? Or like, was there some deeper thought to it? I mean, denying some strength equity or
yeah. So it really comes down to he's the strength deck, so I need to make sure that his bodies are less than mine. I knew I was playing I believe it was Cheshire Cat on turn 3, so I wanted him to swing with Palace Guard so I could swing with my Diablo. I would trade his 2 costs with my 2 costs, and then I would still have a Cheshire Cat. Being that Mulan lived, obviously that worked out in my favor as well. But I was just trying to keep his board small. That's really all it comes down to.
Makes sense. And then my last question for you, Fumbles, is Fumblington a family name?
So I'm actually Fumbleting Jr., but my dad doesn't really like to talk about that. So he doesn't really like to go by senior. So
right.
No,
I had heard that you that they changed it when your family landed here, right?
Right? From the old
on
country.
Arcasia's Island.
Yeah.
Fumblingtonburg, right? Yeah.
No, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to be, more official, full name out there for the, playoffs. So
Absolutely. I completely agree, and have been trying to do the same thing, Fumbles.
Color is Longton.
Yes.
Right? Your last name. Color, do you have any last questions before we let these guys do shout outs?
None that are Disney Lorcana related and just absolutely not unhinged. So I'll probably let you guys go, and we can get on to round 2. Congratulations to Fumbles and Joshua. Would you like to do any shout outs, Joshua? We can start with you, and then we'll go to Fumbles, and then we can go back to you. It'll be a lightning round, then we can do Brent. Just kidding. Just Joshua, you want to do any shout outs?
Yeah, shout out the lounge, great testing partners, super a lot of fun. And then shout out my amazing girlfriend who allows me to spend way too much time on this game. So
incredible.
Actually,
Fumbles, who you want to shout out, buddy?
Shout out wifey who dished me tonight to not watch me play webcam games. She wanted to go out because I was playing webcam games. Rude. Shout out to my Secret Santa who got me this awesome Nick Wilde hat. Not saying exactly who, right? It's Secret Santa for a reason. It was color. And then shout out to the lounge because I like talking to a lot of them, and I get to see Chris Anderson in Richmond apparently, so that's awesome. And shout out to Josh here who was fun to play with.
Thank you so much, fellas. I want to shout out the lounge as well. Maybe my favorite logo in the entirety of the league, I gotta say.
My God, it's the year of our Lorcana 2025, and the lounge is getting absolute sincere shout outs. How do you guys feel? Is like Braden on fire right now? Like I
Dude,
love
I'm already
it.
seeing him tweeting.
I love it. Those were sincere shout outs.
Is he tweeting? That's always scary.
Does he not ever? Does he not tweet? Like, you know what I mean? I don't even know if he's a real person. I think he's just an amalgamation of tweets.
He's a haunted AI that some say still roam these halls. All right, we're going to flip it back over to the rest of the ICL crew. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time.
Thank you, everyone.
Shout out to the
Have a good night.
Fumblington family.
Thanks,
You
everyone.
really helped me through some dark moments of my life. So
Wait,
thank
what's the whale's name?
Goswald.
Yeah. All right. Shout out
Goswald.
Goswald. All right. Nice. Bye.
Thanks, judges.
Thank you.
Brenda's back.
Hello.
We're back. Oh, it's all of us. We're all
hello.
here.
Hello.
What's up,
How are
all
we
of
doing
us?
tonight?
How are you doing,
I'm
Garrett?
good.
You're
Just
new. You're oh my gosh.
turning on my
this-
Garrett
camera.
snuck in here.
Look at this.
Excellent.
Yeah, I got a turtleneck on. You know, I'm
Jack,
feeling
Garrett, he's
like
muted for me. Is he not for you?
He is muted
no
for
one can
me.
hear me.
Okay. Woo.
We have to
Oh,
refresh our
Yeah.
pages.
Good and
because
cooked by
I'm alive.
technology.
and
You have access to
everything
the
but
lore
you.
bot, right?
Garrick,
I
you
can
look
check.
like a
Yeah.
CEO right
If not,
now.
I can.
Dude,
share
I
it with you
decided
again.
like New Year's is coming up.
Is
you
it
know,
ICL
the
private?
turtleneck might be a good look,
Yes.
so that's what we're rolling with. That's what we're going with, and it's a special occasion. You know, it's the ICL playoffs. It's a big deal. It's the Lounge versus the SLTC. Who's the best secret testing group? We're gonna find out right now.
Absolutely. I hope that your TED talk you just did went well. Also, welcome back, Willow Peace.
Yeah.
Color is law. Willow,
Yeah.
how you feeling? Did you watch that match? That was
I
insane.
was watching. That was a quick match indeed. I mean, yeah, like you for the playoffs, you always wanted to go to game 3, right? For basketball, I believe it's game 7. We don't get that luxury here. Okay, we just got to go to 3, and we didn't get to
Sports.
see it. Fumbles was just a little too dominant, and it was. I mean, it's cool to see though, right? I'm sure Garrick, you agree, being a Ruby Amethyst enjoyer yourself. It's great to see Ruby Amethyst, doing well and dominating what's supposed to be the best deck in the format in Amethyst Steel, right? So I even though it was a quick match, I think it was still a good one, and it's great to see that deck still has some legs.
Are we gonna watch? Is Ruby Amethyst just gonna sneak take Richmond? Is that what's gonna happen, guys? I
Ain't
think
nothing
so.
sneaky about it because I'm bringing it and I already told everyone I was winning. So
You're bringing Amber Steel again. Don't even lie.
Let's
You're gonna
go.
run it back with Amber Steel.
But in our
Oh,
second match here, we have Justin from the SLTC, also known as Jack
Aw.
Shadow's co-creator and the mind behind the Kiwi deck that's just absolutely dominated when it first showed up in Disney Lorcana, a member of the SLTC Top 64 in Seattle and Toronto, as well as the SSG 10K winner. What a beast.
And an Infinity All-Star.
That's
Mind
true.
you.
Yes, so I've heard.
Absolute. This will be the one coming for you guys in Indianapolis.
You gotta love a co-creator of an archetype of a deck, right? What an amazing piece of Lorcana history to have attributed to your name. And I hear Jack Shadows is one of the best deck builders in the game. Okay, that's what the streets are saying. So
Facts.
Very
who
good.
knows? In the ICL, when we're restricted on what we can play, we get to see a little bit more interesting deck choices. So I'm curious to see what he's gonna bring here, but I'm sure it's gonna be nothing short of amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
On the other side, we have Braden from the Lorcana Loungers. Everyone knows Braden, #1 Twitter hot takes. Check him out. He's in the spaces. He's having conversations and he's making waves not only on Twitter but in Disney Lorcana. Top 32 in Dallas. Top 4 at the Ink Invitational. That is
Heyo.
that's a great accolade there.
Prestigious.
25 plus set championship top cuts and #1 ranked bad take haver 2 years running. At least he's aware. He's self-aware. Braden.
He's self-aware, but I will say in this last, I would say 2 months, I have heard more people in this community whisper or kind of quietly under their breath be like, well, I kind of agree with what Braden said. I am
He's
not gonna
low-key
lie. I
spitting.
am like Braden was kind
As-
of cooking, and like I kind of see his point, and I'm like, what is happening? What
Caller, are
Alice
you-
in Wonderland world are we living in? where
are
people
you
like,
saying that those were the real whispers in the well?
"Hey, that Braden's been correct a lot recently? I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Listen,
that
with
actually
Disney
says that on my
magic-
aerial iconic.
Anything is possible. Right?
It's
That's the
Ariel.
Disney magic.
Brayden might be right. Is the
That's
It's
there's
the,
some
it's the
name, right?
ethereal voice that she's spitting. Yeah. That's why she's been voiceless this whole time. You know, she finally got to admit
found the
it.
strength to
Yeah.
say it.
But this is going to be an interesting matchup, right? Two powerhouses in their own right. Justin, notorious in the game, great deck builder. Brayden, also notorious in a very different way, great tweet maker. So it's going to be an interesting head-to-head. I don't know Brayden well enough to make these jokes, but I hope he knows I'm just joking, and I think he's
throw it out
great.
there.
I hope he knows I'm
loves
just
trolling.
joking. I will say this. In any community, you do need somebody who's willing to have some hot takes that not
Absolutely.
everybody's going to agree with, and I respect him for it because I would be terrified to put out every hot take that I have about stuff, but he's willing to spit the truth, and I gotta give up
His
a lot of
truth.
respect for that.
He keeps it interesting. Sometimes, there's some boring moments in Lorcana. We gotta spice
Is
it up
there?
on the internet.
Keeping it spicy. Yo,
No,
shout out
they say-
Brady.
Yeah, of
in
course
the
he
chat.
is.
I mean, you got
Oh, he's
to.
listening.
I would just like to say that Willow and Brent are not joking. They're serious about everything they
Okay,
say.
right.
Color and I are.
Everything
joking.
I've
We do
said
love
is
Brayden.
serious. Nothing
Whatever,
I say is
if
a
any-
joke.
If I offend you, I'm joking. And
Color-
that is not toxic or abusive. So
You-
That holds up in a court of law, actually.
You have the best sayings out just out your mouth. I'm just like, make some t-shirts, dude. What was the one we were talking about earlier? Hardcore booking or whatever.
oh
we're
yeah,
talking
absolute
about-
literature. Yeah.
Absolute literature.
Yeah, super, yeah.
It sounds like something a Halo guy would say after like we get a quadruple kill.
After Master
Absolute literature. Yes,
After Master
yes.
Chief finishes Moby Dick, then he
Yeah.
absolute literature. Of course.
Exactly.
Oh
It
my
works
goodness.
out.
I'm really interested to see what these players are playing. They're definitely well known for their Infinity decks. I think
Yeah,
we would know
yes.
100% what we were getting out of Justin and what we would be getting out of Brayden. But here in Core
Emerald Steel versus
Constructed,
Sapphire Steel.
yeah,
Done.
exactly,
Done.
exactly. No Amethyst in that matchup, but is there going to
Mm.
be Amethyst in this matchup? I'll be interested to see what both players will be rocking. Is Justin still on that patented Sapphire Steel? There's no chance in any reality that Brayden is playing Emerald Steel. He wants to win, so I'm assuming he'll bring a good deck.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
listen, here's the thing. Okay, we haven't mentioned it too much, but Richmond is like 10 days away, guys, right? Like
Yeah.
it is coming up. And part of
So
that
soon.
with these two players, these are guys that have not won Golden Mickeys yet, but absolutely could, right? I think if you ask
Mhm.
anybody,
yeah,
we'd all
100%.
agree. These are guys that absolutely could win a Golden Mickey. And so because of that, I wonder if part of it is going to be, not showing some of those tricks that they're planning on bringing to Richmond. And that might make the deck choices a little bit more interesting because I don't know that ICL on the big screen where everybody's watching is the is the time to get that play testing in, right? They're doing that, like we said, in private with these secret groups. So I don't know that they're going to bring something that you're going to see them
You
playing
think they're
in
going to
Richmond.
try and throw us off the trail, like Justin on Emerald Ruby, Brayden on Amber Sapphire Princesses? That would be amazing.
Amber Sapphire
Absolutely.
Princesses cooks. You guys, I'm telling you, if you sit down from an Amber Sapphire deck in Richmond and you don't respect it, raise your hand when you get cooked so I can personally come and laugh. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
What?
We
If
are going
you-
to need.
Amber Sapphire, if you sit down from across from an Amber Sapphire player and you think it's a free win and you disrespect it, I need you to raise your hand so I can come and talk to you about it afterwards after you get cooked.
I'm hearing things. Did she say Amber We need to respect Amber
Yeah,
Sapphire?
I think so.
She
So
might be the
shout out.
next bad take haver, Brayden. You better watch, buddy. Color's coming for you, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, respect it. You just respect it. Don't look at them like they're a free win because you're gonna get cooked.
Wild's unknown is no longer unknown. That's the wild part now. Can I also just say this, because I know that we got to throw it over to the games. I have not met Brayden in real life, but I really hope that wherever he goes to play Lorcana, he has that trophy in his hand
At all times.
Yes, every time I see him, he has it. I'm like, it's a little cumbersome, don't you think?
I would love. No, he's like, can
We're
somebody get me a
gonna
stool
we're gonna
for
get
this?
him a gold chain for it for next Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah, that way.
Shout out whoever made that trophy. That is a dope trophy. I do gotta say.
For sure. I'll say this. I think both these players might just bring their best. I think they might just bring what they're going to play in Richmond. Like, this is a rivalry, if we have one in the ICL,
Yeah, it's
between the
true.
Loungers and
Wow.
SLTC.
Okay.
They want to win this championship. Both teams very close last season, one making it to the finals, the other just barely missing out. So I think these players are going to put their best foot forward and say, hey, if you see me in Richmond, catch the smoke. I don't care if you know what I'm playing. I'm going to get the stub anyway. I think I could see that from both players for sure.
Yeah, Garrick, I could see where winning. Excuse me, Brent. Sorry, I could see where winning the ICL is more important than winning a Golden Mickey and leaking the side. I could see it. I could see where.
It is.
What were you going to say, Brent? Sorry.
I was gonna say, I as somebody who did not follow the first season of this, it's great to have that context. So you're telling me that SLTC and the Loungers were both very close to winning last season, did not quite get there, and now this is sort of a grudge match.
SLTC did beat the Loungers though, so
in the playoffs last year. So I mean, I love to see it. I'm a big fan of sports. We talked about the NBA earlier. I love the NBA. I love when rivalries are formed, and I think we have a little bit of one here, and it could be a friendly rivalry. That's all good, but having that competitive spirit, I think, elevates the game and elevates the prestige of the league as a whole. So these players, I'm really excited to see what they bring. And right now, SLTC is up 1. So Braden needs to win this to give his beloved Loungers a chance here.
Yeah, the stakes could not be any higher. We are down 0-1 to the team that beat us last year, prevented us from getting in there.
They need a halftime speech, Brent. Go, Brent.
That was all I wanted to say.
I was waiting for some, like, remember the Titans, like Hoosiers, like sports.
The
it's
coach,
so funny.
Coach Carter.
Yeah, exactly.
Just kidding. And the funny thing is like, I know that like Braden has his like hot takes and everything, but like he's a super nice person in person, and like and Justin is one of the nicest people I've ever met in my entire life. So you guys are like getting down, drag out. These two are gonna get in there and knock each other's cards off the table, and they're just like kind of just super chill people to talk to. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like they're just, and like, again, I'm not a super sports fan, so this like energy, I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard of
each other.
Have you all ever heard of chess boxing before? Where it's half chess and half boxing.
I have heard of this.
But
I think we should implement this.
I'm
really
getting
quickly.
word that next season of the ICL, they're going to be doing a Lorcana boxing match where half of the matches is Lorcana.
Shadow boxing yourself in your own house because you do it over webcam.
20 minutes of Lorcana, then 20 minutes of boxing.
Of shadow boxing.
These two players aren't too far away from each other. I think we could make it happen.
No.
Might be easier than getting the webcam set up right now, as we're having some technical issues in the back.
Yeah, you thought that Jake Paul fight was hype? Coming to Netflix next fall, Jack Shadows and Braden finally settling their lifelong beef. I heard that both of these guys grew up in the exact same place and were rivals since they were children. Is that correct, Eric? You know,
that's true. That is true.
This lore
They
is
both
absolutely
run up the
unhinged.
rocky steps every other weekend because they don't want to catch each other on the steps on the same weekends.
This is such crazy lore. I'm like, I just like Justin just at his home with his wife and his dog,
Right.
and chill and like drink hot cocoa and hang out.
This
Braden
is all
is just,
true,
like,
actually.
No,
just, like,
I was gonna say the more we like hype this up, it's so funny as someone who has met Justin and he is just like the nicest, most reserved guy
Just
ever.
don't believe it, Willow.
Yeah.
Don't believe it. I'm telling you right now. The movie John Wick was based off of Jack Shadow's life.
Wait, hold on. I was gonna say, if something like that happened to their dog, he would go full John Wick. And I
Maybe he
think-
would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You don't want to catch Jack in the shadows, is what.
Yeah. How you think he got the name?
Listen, of
he's
all
the
the
real
people
Baba
who
Yaga.
want Braden in the ring, I don't know that it's Justin. Okay, there might be a couple other people lined up to take that one.
I feel like basically it's like I was watching. Do you guys like watch the Fallout show on? Yeah, there was a scene where it was like, are you the guy that did that thing and that other thing? And he was like, yeah. And he's like, I bet I could like whoop you. And he just looks him in the eye and goes, yeah, you probably could. Like, I feel like that's the vibe. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like,
for
like
sure.
I'm coming for you. I bet you could get me. Yeah, you probably. Yeah,
Well,
if you really wanted to, you
Speaking
could.
of boxing, we're gonna have to play some bets on this, but let's take the boxing out of it. Let's put the cards back into it. Okay,
Why?
that's my transition color. Okay.
Transition.
So tell me, everyone. Let's start with Brent. Between Justin, between Braden, we've got to pick somebody who's gonna win. There can only be one winner. Brent, tell me, who's it gonna be?
It's gonna be Justin, the Baba Yaga Shadow, Jack Shadows. For my pick, Jack Shadows just sounds like a Mortal Kombat character to me.
Fair
so,
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, how do you
You're a
root against
fighter.
him?
Okay, color. Who do you got?
You know, I love doing this. Let's see. I'm like between Brent with pictures last time, and so like that statue is a commanding presence. I think so. I think we're gonna go for that just because Justin knows how much I love him. So I am gonna go with Braden because it's the statue. Yeah.
Sure.
So
and
using facts and data and things that I know about how large that statue is, and I think Braden being this tall, the statue being this, so that's I don't know, it's like a 3 foot long. It's like a toddler's worth of statue that he's carrying around.
Sure.
So I think that's gonna carry him to the win, you know?
Okay, so we've got one for Justin, one for Braden. Garrick, tell me who
I'll
you
make
got.
it short and sweet. I'm going with Braden. He's on the play. I put my money where my mouth is. 3,500 points. Catch me in the ring on the bets on twitch.tv/Wonderland.
There you have it. All right. Well, to tie it up, then I'm just going to put my money on Justin here, creator of Kiwi Birds. You can't go wrong with him. But I believe the tech issues have been resolved and we are ready to throw it to the game. So goodbye, Brent. Goodbye, Color. Thank you for joining us. And now it is me and Garrick, I believe, off into the ring. Here we go. We've got Brady. I believe they've already started. All right. So we've got a Jasmine, a Sapphire Jasmine, and a Clarabelle. Okay. We're off to the races.
Hold on. If we see a steel card, never mind. Okay, I was going to say it might be Sapphire Steel versus Emerald Steel, but
that would be crazy. The prediction.
It is Emerald Sapphire, as Braden is able to find the ramp on 2 here in the form of the Tipo. We're going to get to that all important for Ink turn next turn. We'll see if we're able to find that Cinderella as Jasmine comes down with the shift. We're going to quest and look for some allies.
Yeah, so this Jasmine, steady strategist here, all right? She's letting us look at the top 3 cards of our deck. He is hopefully going to be able to reveal an ally character, which is going to be that Tinkerbell. We know her, we love her. She is a reprint from Fabled all the way coming back to the first chapter. And now, because we have shifted, she's protected because she's got a pretty good stat line, right, with that 5 willpower. But there's nothing else that we can really do.
Yeah, we do find, well, we can do that.
Well, we can't do that for sure.
Back. And this is really interesting because your welcome sends the card back and then you draw 2 cards from your deck. But we sent 2 cards in because the card was shifted. So really, we're not giving Justin any real advantage here. We're just taking off a draw engine from the board. So I don't hate that from Braden. Normally, you'd like to see some ramp there, maybe put a Donald Duck down. But I like that you're welcome getting rid of a shifted character on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I was saying, that Jasmine with that 5 willpower, getting her off the board, we're not going to be too mad about that. We still get to go on a quest with both of these characters. There's nothing on Justin's board here, so they're safe to, quest. It's it's a bit slow, but it also time walked Justin, right? So it's slow on both sides. We're going to see that Vincenzo hit the Inkwell. We're going to play out this Pleakley and ink it. So a little bit round. We still got to ramp, but we don't get to have a character stick on the board there.
Yeah, also a super heads-up play from Braden there, realizing that the Pleakley could be coming down, which would ramp Justin 2 additional ink on that turn, but the Pleakley, no target, so it's going to go into the Inkwell himself as Clarabelle comes down onto the board, and Braden is going to draw a mighty 3.
6 cards? How many cards do we? Well, the game just started. The game just started. So Justin definitely has a lot of cards in hand. This is a power play. This is exactly what Braden wants to do. We're up to 5 lore here. He just drew a whopping 6 cards. It's crazy, right? So he's off to the races. He's doing what he wants to do. On the other side now, Justin is trying to catch up. So we're not playing super, big, beefy characters, but we're able to play 2 characters down. We are going to continue to ramp, I believe, with this Cinderella. So we're trying our best to fight this, but there's just too many cards in hand, Garrick. No way to really get them down for that Clarabelle on the other side.
Yeah, absolutely. Clarabelle on turn 5 on the play in Emerald Sapphire is one of the strongest things you can do, especially if you're able to get a You're Welcome down at some point, either during that turn or prior to it. And it's almost unbeatable. But we do have a Nick Wild, the little guy on the opposite side of the board. We do need to be aware that there is a shift opportunity to get the Persistent Investigator onto the board. However, he still is only a 5/4, so not really threatening the Clarabelle directly, but can try and help us draw some additional cards if we're Justin. But again, you might not want to do that when there's a Clarabelle.
Yeah, this Clarabelle really opens up a lot of lines for Brayden here. One of the things, even if he may not want to go for it, is some of the songs that he has available to him. And one of those songs we see coming out here is Mother Knows Best. So it looks like Brayden is slowing down, thinking through what he wants to bounce here, because like you said, that Nick Wild does have a shift that could be coming down. Also, this Cinderella here, if we bounce back to hand and he replays it, sure, it's a little slow, but we're still getting to dig a little bit more in our deck. I would venture to say he's going to choose that Nick Wild to respect that shift line. But taking his time here, looks like he's really going to think through what is the best possible option.
Yeah, tough decisions here, most definitely. But using these Emerald cards in concert with the Clarabelle is just so powerful and very frustrating when you're playing against it. It feels like you can never empty your hand quick enough. And when you try to, maybe you're doing things in in order that doesn't really help you maximize your strategy. You're just trying to make the Clarabelle worse and end up shooting yourself in the foot twice. But yeah, Mother Knows Best, You're Welcome. Cards like this are just so good with Clarabelle.
Yeah, absolutely. You make a great point. Just continuing, Brayden here, continuing to refill Justin's hand. So Justin, like I mentioned, is going to be trying to get his hand down, but Brayden has a lot of songs like we saw earlier with You're Welcome, now with Your Mother Knows Best. It gets a card off the board, but sometimes more importantly, does get a card back to hand. I wonder if we're having some more technical issues. I know we were having some earlier, or maybe we are talking through something on the player's side. So we will figure out what's going on here and let you know. Sometimes these things happen. We were, like we said, we were having some tech issues earlier. So maybe one of those things. But I mean, this gives us more time to talk about this matchup here. Yeah. We haven't seen too much of it, but I do think this is interesting because I don't know about you, Garrick. I have not seen a lot of Sapphire Steel Detectives in the actual meta game. So I know that it can be powerful. I lost to Rod Gaston playing it in the Questing for Charity event. So I know how cool it is when it sneaks up on you, but I'm not too familiar with the archetype beyond that.
Yeah, I was able to play Rod in that tournament as well. It really runs off the back of Judy Hopps, which opens up so many different play lines and gives you so many different opportunities to do a lot of really cool things, draw a lot of cards, give your other detectives alert. So it's kind of Nick and Judy going back and forth with each other. The issue is this is your worst matchup, and it's your worst matchup by far. The deck is actually pretty good into everything else, and you could say favored into a lot of other things. Mid-range decks can definitely handle aggro pretty well. With the Nick Wilds, it just makes things so favorable for you because you never run out of cards, and then you also have removal in the form of steel cards. But my teammate, shout out Steven, also known as Witty, played this at the PPG 10K, and he said, as long as I dodge Emerald Sapphire, I will make top cut. He played Emerald Sapphire 3 times. He got 3 losses, and he got up out of there. It is the worst matchup for this deck, and Brayden started off really hot here. So it's going to be tough for Justin to try and win this, especially on the draw. Now seeing what the decks are, I think my bet's looking pretty good.
Yeah, we're feeling pretty good about that bet for sure. Interesting that that's just sometimes the way it goes. You know, you can be as prepared as you want and say, I just got to dodge this one matchup, and then you pair right into it round one, right? Sometimes that's just how it happens. But like we said earlier, this is important. This is an important match. We want to see it go into a game 3. So maybe Brayden potentially getting a little lucky in the matchup roulette, and maybe he's going to be able to take this one with ease. But I think one of the things is, right, when you're a player of the caliber that these two players are, you're prepping for your worst matchup, right? I highly doubt that Justin is saying, well, as I'm just gonna not even practice that matchup because there's no point, right? He's gonna be doing dedicated play testing. He's gonna know, even if it's not favored, what his outs are. And sometimes, people hear, oh, it's 40-60 and I'm the 40, so I just lose that matchup. But you forget 40% of the time, if you play your cards right, you can in fact win. And if there's anybody that can do this upset in a matchup that's traditionally not favored for him, I do believe it's Justin. So I don't think it's over yet, folks. Don't touch that mouse. Don't get out of here, okay? I do think there's going to be some interesting games ahead. Okay, well,
there you go.
there you have it.
I don't know if the people heard that, but production came in and gave us the word that Justin did concede game number 1, mostly due to camera issues, but was also in a pretty unwinnable position with the Clarabelle out there able to draw so many cards. I was going to say maybe you can get Goliath down, and if Goliath can stick, you force your opponent to discard a bunch of cards. You can also discard cards with Goliath, making the Clarabelle a little bit worse. But if you play Goliath down, discard most of your hand, and then they remove it, that's like the worst EV play maybe of all time. But while we're taking a quick break, I do have to run really quick, just 30 seconds, and I will be right back.
All right, so it is just me here, and the reason why I was laughing so hard to the chatters that are watching at home is because I, as a caster, I try really hard to keep the match exciting for those of us at home, okay? We don't want to say Justin's out of it, because he's never out of it. It's way more fun to be invested. So it was just very funny for me to be like, listen, guys, he's still in it. Once he comes back, we're going to have a real game on our hands. Don't go anywhere. And then production comes in and is like, well, actually, about that, he did have to concede the first game, but that's okay, because like I said earlier, I love an underdog, and Justin's not much of an underdog, but at least because he did not win this first game, that makes him now the underdog. So we want to see him take it out. I know we all want to see it go to a game 3. Otherwise, we're gonna have a really quick ICL on our hands. Like this is gonna be super short if we have two 2-0s back to back. Okay, and if you guys are like me, we love our playoffs to go nice and long. So if you're in the chat while we are waiting on these tech issues, let us know who you're rooting for, let us know who you've got in this rivalry here, as we are showing our full deck to the camera for Braden. I'm just kidding, but it looks like we are shuffled up. We are back hopefully soon into the action, and speaking of back, Garrick has returned.
We're so back. I ordered a pizza like a round and a half ago, and it finally showed up, and I needed to get it out of the cold.
Nice. Fair enough. Well, we are back. They're shuffling up. And you know what? Like you said, conceding game 1, maybe not too bad, because now he knows what he's up against. He can tailor his altar and the cards that he throws back to hopefully shape his hand a little bit better for what he's going to be seeing. But that being said, do you think Braden is even worried about this, or do you think he's feeling good, even though he's going to be on the draw again?
I think Braden is feeling really good. Like I said, this is a really tough matchup for them. You kind of have to go under Emerald Sapphire, and this deck, not really able to do that. One of the best things about this deck is the Judy Hopps and the Nick Wild able to get cards into your hand consistently. Jasmine also does that. So while you're putting cards in your hand, the Emerald Sapphire player loves that, because what we saw in game number 1, we're going to play Clarabelle. We're going to draw just as many as you did. So it's kind of like, it feels like the deck perfectly created and curated to beat this other one. But it's tough because you don't have a lot of low-cost 2-questers, which is kind of what you need to go under this deck. You cannot play a control battle with this Emerald Sapphire deck.
Yeah, I think that's interesting that you're pointing this out, because as we have, the Judy Hopps, the Jasmine, the Nick Wild kind of cycling through the card screen here, you're making a great point. All of these cards are meant to find more cards, right? And sure, when we're not up against this matchup, that's a great thing to continue cycling through these detectives, continue having them pop off. But if Braden is going to find and be able to keep a Clarabelle as early as he did in game 1, I mean, Yeah, sure. We know that Justin has to get under it and has to go fast, but I don't know that his deck is necessarily built to do that as consistently as he's going to want it to in these next, hopefully, 2 games here. So it's, but that being said, that's the fun part, right? Is navigating, okay, I have run into my worst matchup. How can I now make it happen?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see what Justin is able to do because, like you mentioned earlier, he is one of the best pilots of this specific color combination that we know of. So good, able to make new decks seemingly out of thin air, as the Vincenzo can quest for quite a lot. He's going to go into the Inkwell, and we do see the Jasmine come down on turn number 1 again. We'll see if we're able to shift that again on turn number 2, and maybe this time we get to use the Pleakley and ramp up to our big threats.
Yeah, absolutely. We do see a Clarabelle hit the Inkwell. I mean, nice to know that one of them is now gone, irretrievably so. But the risk with that is that probably means he has another one in hand. So we're going to go ahead and quest this Jasmine. We do not have the shift. Instead, we are opting to play down this Nick Wild. But maybe that's all part of the plan. Maybe this is us getting under it. But you're right. You're going to want to have to shift that Jasmine, draw more cards, and Pleakley it if you can. So I wonder if this is not the opening he wants or if this is actually part of his strategy here.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, we're talking about 2 questers getting under this other strategy. The Nick Wild can shift on 3 and does quest for 2. So that would be a good way to start getting lore on the board. And then, of course, it is just a big body that can help you draw cards. So we'll see if he does opt to shift here. No. We're going to go for a quest as the second Pluto Steel champion hits the Inkwell. And there's the Pleakley ramping us on turn number 3.
Yeah, so both of these players doing some ramping here, which is what Sapphire wants to do. They've both got Sapphire in their deck, so it makes sense. We see that Pleakley come down, nice little stat line. On the other hand, we have this Cinderella come down. This is also going to do some more ramp. So both of these players are very quickly building up their Inkwell so they can get to these all-important 6, 7 ink turns. But the question is, what are they going to drop once they get here? So we see, okay, Justin is exerting 4 of his ink, and he's got a Cinderella of his own. Is he going to use this Pleakley to sing? What are we doing here?
I believe Pleakley just quested.
Just questing. There we go.
Yep. Some more lore on the board. We're thinking about what does Nick Wild want to do. I think we are going to go on another quest here. Got to get the lore while it's available. Not really. I mean, who cares if Cinderella challenges in? Really, you can remove it if you want to, but you need the lore more than anything at this point, and we don't know if Braden wants to turn that Cinderella sideways quite yet, as we are going to vision looking for some more options here for Braden.
Yeah, so I wonder what he's looking for here. This vision tells me that he doesn't necessarily have all of the pieces that his deck needs to get off the ground. And one of these things, like we said, this Emerald Sapphire deck can be very powerful when it gets going. But like we saw early, that Clarabelle hitting the Inkwell, now we're playing a Visions instead of, playing something like inking and playing something for 6, like a John Silver. It's showing me that maybe we don't have exactly what we're looking for, but slowing this down like Braden is doing is actually exactly what Justin wants here, because we're seeing him value that lore, like you said.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. But if you're Braden, you see what's on the opposite side of the board. Honestly, it's not that threatening because none of this stuff quests for 2. Maybe Braden had a John Silver in his hand, is like, I could play this, but do I really need to? Like, what's he going to go to 8 next turn? I could just vision right now, get a warded Prince Philip down and do the combo next turn and just end the game. No questions asked.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice turn from Braden, still being able to develop his board quite wide now, getting rid of that Nick Wild as well. And yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Neither of these characters questing for 2. So the clock isn't really ticking too fast here. Meanwhile, on Braden's side, what he's done is he's set himself up for 2 different possible turns. So Justin is going to have to pick his poison. Do we want to get rid of this Clarabelle and stop that shift? Or do we want to, if we can, because this is a warded character, get rid of that Prince Philip, right? So he's kind of presenting 2 different shift lines, and both of them are pretty strong here.
Yeah, opting to get rid of the Cinderella, but we are going to Strength of a Raging Fire the Clarabelle. Unfortunately, the Prince Philip is warded. So having a warded shift target, this keeps happening with the emerald cards. Enough is enough.
Stop the ward. Maybe it wasn't the discard that was the problem. Maybe it was the ward keyword all along. But I mean, I don't know that Braden's going to be too upset about this. We did play this Jasmine down, and if he does have this Prince Philip combo, seeing as how he's at 6 ink, I mean, you're feeling pretty good, right? You get to wipe this board, and then Justin is going to have to completely rebuild it here. But you know what? Braden's shuffling his hand here, and usually that's something you slam down pretty quickly if you have it. So maybe, oh, just kidding. Just kidding. He's just slow rolling us.
I wonder if Braden was thinking again what I was talking about last turn. Like, I'm under no pressure here. Do I need to do it?
Is it even
I
worth
could
it?
do something else, but I mean, you hit 3 characters, you get a 6/6 on the board. It's really tough for this strategy on the opposite side of the board to get rid of it, unless you're thinking about, okay, maybe he'll play Hades, but Tinkerbell's just not going to be enough. She can't challenge into the Prince Philip because he does have evasive. We are going to get another character on the board, so able to refill pretty decently for Jack Shadows here, but the evasive Prince Philip is going to be a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, an issue for sure. I mean, just because of that evasive keyword as well, and the Clarabelle coming down just for good measure. I mean, yes, this Tinkerbell is beefy. We're having put 2 characters on the board, feels good, but it doesn't feel nearly as good when we're looking at a 3-quester, a 2-quester, and both of them having that 6 willpower. This Clarabelle potentially allowing us to draw back up if we want to dig for more cards to have answers. It's really tough right here.
Yeah, here comes Doc. If we can develop like a Clawhauser on this turn or a Donald Duck on this turn, and then next turn get a Judy Hopps out. Judy Hopps does give your detectives alert and resist 2, so that could be a way to pretty cleanly, or Ink Runner. Ink Runner is good enough.
Ink Runner is a great answer here. This is going to be able to give our Tinkerbell alert on our turn, which will allow her to challenge in. But as it stands right now, that is not enough damage to get rid of this Prince Philip.
Here's the Nick Wild also at 5, though. With the shift, we can do it, and we will trade into the Prince Philip here with the Persistent Investigator, and we'll draw a card. So really, really well played by Justin there. I was not even bringing up the Ink Runner because I figure, hey, Judy does the same thing. Why would you pack Ink Runner when you could just do Judy things? But he has them both, and we see the Ink Runner paying off in spades, as now Braden in a tricky position.
Absolutely paying off indeed. That was a huge turn for Justin. I think if he did anything other than what he just did, Braden was just going to run away with this game. And I would say now it is decently close. So this Clarabelle is still a problem, but we just played a Duck, right? So our hand is not that big. So we're not too worried about the Clarabelle actually drawing cards. It's just more just like the lore, the stat line, the singing power. But playing down something like a Cinderella, I think we're okay with that. I think we're buying ourselves some turns here, and I'm just excited to see what he does next, because that was a really great answer, a really great turn from Justin. I want to see him keep following it up with bangers after bangers. Tipo, maybe not the banger we wanted, but
yeah, those are the 2 cards in Justin's hand. So now is empty-handed. We have a Tipo and a Pleakley onto the board, but Braden doesn't have a ton of cards in hand either. I think sitting at 3 right now, but has the opportunity to find a really, really good card off the top, or something like a Vision to find another Clarabelle. And another one.
3 Clarabelles. Yes, I mean,
we don't have enough for the kicker though, so we can't pop the Ink Runner, right?
This is tough. A lot of Clarabelles on the board. They're questing for a lot of lore, and they're very, very strong, right? So this Tinkerbell not going to be able to challenge in, banish, do any sort of pinging ability at all. We are going to see this Namari come down on Justin's side. This is going to let him start to filter through his deck, but in order to filter, he needs cards. So yes, otherwise we're just going to be drawing a card and discarding it off the top, which sure is going to dig us. But what are we digging to? Because we could just be discarding our good cards.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do like that Amari here can cleanly remove any of these Clarabelles, and Could have gone for the exerted Clarabelle there, but would have lost 2 characters in the process. So not really favoring that. Here comes the Donald Duck Perfect Gentleman, which allows both players to draw an additional card should they choose on Braden's turn. So right now, Justin is not going to be able to get an additional card, but that'll put the Namari online as we have the Judy Pops here, and Justin is top decking like nobody's business right now.
He is top decking like nobody's business. So that Judy Hop's doing something similar to that Ink Runner. Like we mentioned, it is going to, on Justin's turn, give alert and resist +2 to those detective characters. So I don't believe we have any other detectives, but it's still nice to have that out. I mean, she's a decent stat
She
line.
counts herself as well. So
She counts herself. And a 2-lore quester. And now we're starting to build up our board here to sort of match what Braden has going on. And like you said, we can turn that Namari sideways. We can start getting some questing. And this Namari being on the board is going to enable our other little guys to quest as well. Because what we're saying is, okay, sure, if you're going to turn your Clarabelle sideways to challenge into something of mine, I get to swing back with that Namari.
Challenging into the Namari here. We do have 9 ink. We could play the Prince Philip and remove it pretty cleanly, but
starting to do a little bit of cleanup. We are turning some of our characters sideways, but the ones we're electing to turn sideways are not the ones that we care the most about here. So this is strategic on Braden's part. He's respecting that Namari. Now we are going to see that Prince Philip come down. It is going to be able to clear off that Namari and clear off that Pleakley as well. So now this board is not looking nearly as menacing. And sure, we're feeling good and we are questing our Clarabelles up because that Namari threat is now gone.
Yeah, getting rid of that Namari on that turn was huge. Braden really, really smartly targeting the Namari with the little Clarabelle and then removing everything else that was exerted with his other characters. Another Ink Runner comes down. We'll see what Justin is able to do. Are we able to pull another rabbit out of our hat? No pun intended. It's a Jasmine.
It is not a rabbit, but it is a princess. And that's tough because we would have liked that top deck to be something, with having 7 ink available, something that we could have used. Unfortunately, we cannot. We are able to get a Clarabelle off of the board, which feels nice. But I mean, how nice does it feel when we have this Prince Philip, questing for 3, Donald Duck's still on the board, Clarabelle's on the board questing for 2. I mean, it's going to be some good cleanup here with this Clarabelle turning sideways, being able to finish off that Cinderella. But these are still very big bodies with a lot of lore on them.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, the Judy Hopps doing exceptional work there, able to take a Clarabelle out and giving herself the resist too, able to survive. So if Braden is not able to find an answer for this, he can't really quest into her right now.
Yeah, the Judy Hop putting in work for sure. We're going to also put in some work with this improvise, okay? Allowing us to draw a card. And sometimes that's all you need is one card deeper because we find the You're Welcome. It looks like...
Double You're Welcome.
Double You're Welcome? Or are we clarifying which one we chose?
I believe it was
it's
2
both.
You're Welcome.
It's both. And we're getting them both out of here. And those are definitely the highest priority targets, right? So like you were talking about, this Judy Hopps is a powerhouse, giving herself that alert, giving herself that resist too. But Braden saying, I'm using this improvise and I'm drawing into more cards like my removal. That is also at the same time, yes, going to refill Justin's hand, but it's also going to be refilling Braden's because that Clarabelle is still on the board, only leaving a Jasmine and a Nick Wild after it.
Yeah, amazing synergy. Both cards printed in Shimmering Skies, if I remember correctly. Clarabelle and You're Welcome, 2 peas in a pod. Just absolutely backbreaking if you're able to get that combo off consistently, as we see the 2 big threats removed from Justin's side of the board, and now things are extremely dire. We have a lot of ink, we have a lot of cards, but we need answers, and we need them now.
So this Jasmine is going to be looking for some type of answer here, going to be hoping to pull a detective off the top. But what detective or excuse me, ally gets us out of this? I don't know that Tinkerbell does, but at least we have her. And how much ink? We've got a lot of ink available to us. Maybe something like a Hades, if this deck runs it, needs to come down just to kind of slow this, because otherwise Braden is going up to 19 if we can get nothing off the board.
Yeah, going up to 19, but Tinkerbell's pretty good with the ink runners. You're able to get the damage on there, but like we mentioned before, she won't
use
have
it this
enough to get
turn.
rid of the Prince Philip with the challenge on the following turn if Braden does go up to 19. We are going to see Tinkerbell come down for 6. 4 ink remaining. Cinderella would be pretty good here. Now we can look at an additional card this turn.
Grabbing this card, we're probably going on a quest. Why not? Putting a lot of lore on board of our own. So we are setting up our board pretty nicely here on Justin's side, getting to draw another card with that Cinderella, like you mentioned. And yes, we have the ink runners to make things evasive or alert to act as if they have evasive on our turn. But I just don't know if it's going to be enough, because he's going to go all the way up to 19 and he's still going to be able to develop his own board here, right? So sure, maybe we have these ink runners to help us deal with things like this Prince Philip and the Clarabelle. But even if we wipe his board, he's going up to 19. All Braden needs to be able to do is play enough characters that can stick. Well, we still have to be respectful of this Tinkerbell potentially challenging, banishing, and then dealing 2 damage to something. But as long as we have something with 3 willpower, we might be feeling pretty good.
Yeah. Notably, cannot banish anything right now, at least by herself. If we are able to find another Tinkerbell, that would be absolutely massive, I think, to help get yourself out of the situation. You can use your 3 characters to get rid of Clarabelle if you'd like, challenge into the Prince Philip and potentially hit something like the 1-drop Clarabelle if Braden plays that this turn, as we do see 1 ink exerted. But no, he went for a develop your brain. So looking for something else here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how many cards Braden has in hand. He does get to sculpt it a little bit with that develop. So we're playing we're playing a Cinderella of our own. Like I said, this has 3 willpower. So if we're able to do some damage with something and then use the Tinkerbell to finish it off, we are only going to be able to put 2 damage onto that Cinderella. So that's going to stick around. So that's something else that Justin has to be thinking about. And we're still exerting ink. So now, after this vision, we're going to get to play something with at least 4 cost or less, right? So what's he going to pick here? He's looking at 5. He's putting something in his hand. I think he just wants to keep building out this board.
Yeah, 1 more character here would be huge. And I guess You're Welcome would be fine as well. As we are
even better sometimes.
Yeah.
Even better sometimes, because we are going to get that big threat in that Tinkerbell off the board. And with those ink runners, even if she wasn't able to banish something on her own, I mean, 4 strength is significant here, especially when both of these characters already have 1 damage on them. So Braden just having some extra insurance, some extra protection here. And I think identifying that he's close enough to his win condition that it doesn't matter if he's going to potentially draw Justin into some answers. No,
and that's the right choice. I was just about to say, if Justin's able to get a Nick Wilde off the top, then potentially he can still keep himself in this game, but now doesn't even have the option to shift it, because the 4th You're Welcome comes down and is gonna force Justin to draw 2 additional cards here. But more importantly, getting the 2 biggest threats to Braden's board off of Justin's side.
Very, very nice plays from both players, but Braden really solidifying his incredibly dominant position already with 2 You're Welcomes there. I mean, You're Welcomes have been coming in clutch for Braden all day long, because we saw it in the last game. We're seeing it in this one. I mean, I don't know that there's anything that Justin can do to come back from this.
Yeah, I mean, after that last turn was absolutely back-breaking for Justin. I think that pretty much sealed the deal. And then along came Zeus, just isn't in the game anymore. You kind of need that card right now. Unless you're able to play a bunch of characters here. double strength gets you out of this.
Okay, we have a lot of ink. All right,
We have a
spam
lot of
down
ink
a
and a lot
bunch
of
of little
cards.
guys. Play down some hard cast some strengths, right? Or even sing them. Why not? So we're gonna go ahead first quest to see some cards, and okay. Vincenzo is very expensive, but it will get a Cinderella off the board. So that's something.
That's a start.
It is a start. Now, how do we deal with the other 5 lore?
We don't.
And we just can't do it. Amazing games from both players, but I mean, you said it best. This is a really tough matchup for Justin, and so Braden was able to take it very cleanly with the duo.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hop into the interview booth, talk to these 2 players as we are 1-1 and going into the all-important match number 3 between the Loungers and SLTC. I will see you over there in just a second.
Yes, we are.
Even picked up this deck before, so
Are in
I
the
get it.
hello.
Here. Now we are here. Hello. Gentlemen, great to be here with you. Crazy game. I know game 1 we unfortunately did have to concede because of some technical issues, but at least we made game 2 interesting. Justin, I want to start with you because Garrick was filling me in a little bit about this deck. He was a little bit more familiar with it than I was, and he was saying that this Emerald and Sapphire is probably your worst matchup. So when you saw that you were going to be up against Emerald and Sapphire, what were you doing in this second game now that you were going to be able to go first, knowing what you were up against in this altar? And also just we saw you doing some early game questing to kind of just change the trajectory to potentially make it more favored for you.
Praying that Braden bricked.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's a bad matchup. Especially with the way that I've made the deck. I've made the deck a little bit better into some of the aggressive things like dogs. It's better into, I would say, like purple steel, because you're playing more to the board. But you're by doing that, you're losing out on a lot of the power cards that you would want into the blue-green matchup. So, like, I'm not on Headless Horseman, I'm not on Beyond Horizon, so I'm not stopping Braden from being able to pull off the sort of combo board wipes that blue steel really needs to be able to do in order to win that matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, despite the mountain that you had to climb, game 2 was a lot closer, and there was one play in particular that was absolutely insane, getting the dock into like exactly what you needed, and the Judy hops came in really, really clutch. And I really like the inclusion of Ink Runner. I think some lists have foregone the Ink Runner in the Sapphire Steel Detective list because you have the Judy Hops, which does give the alert. But a little bit of redundancy there did pay off. And if it weren't for the 4 "you're welcomes" that you got hit with straight to the face, I think that game might have gone your way.
Yeah. There was a moment there where it was definitely winnable, but the 4 "you're welcomes" really breaks the back,
Yeah.
So something I want to ask you as well with this matchup before we throw it over to Braden is like we're all acknowledging, this is not a great matchup for you, but something that I said, at least to the chat, was, you guys are great players. You're playtesting all day long. Just because something is, not favored for you and it may be your worst matchup doesn't necessarily mean that you're just completely ignoring it in your playtesting. Is this a match that you were still playtesting against, or is it truly just something you were hoping to dodge?
Learning positiveness. So I really haven't done a lot of core playtesting. I've got my pet colors. Everyone knows my pet colors. I took a deck that I had last set, and I like Nick Wilde, and so he's an ally. I can find him with Jasmine, and I was like, that seems like fun. And so the small amount of core that I've played this set has been goofing around with throwing Nick Wilde into that ally deck that a chunk of my friends and I worked on at the end of last set. But as far as playtesting this set goes, I know the blue-green matchup is bad. I really haven't done a lot of playtesting. There's Richmond is coming up. I am going as an attendee so that I can play Infinity the whole weekend.
That's so
Okay.
sad.
Well, there you have it. Justin is more interested in Infinity, which is a hot take, which Braden is known for. That's my other segue. That's my transition of the day. Braden, nice to officially meet you. I hope you don't mind all the jokes that we were making. But you're our winner. You're our winner right now. You're tying it up with the 1-1. Like we mentioned, this is a bit of a grudge match, bit of a rivalry here. So on the other hand, how are you feeling when you see that you're against Sapphire Steel allies and you're on Emerald Sapphire?
I not to accidentally dunk on the commentators, but I think we both are the least prepared people on our teams, it seems. I've never played this deck before. Last night I played 10 games on the illegal website. I've also been distracted by Infinity. We're both better suited for Infinity Week, it seems. So yeah, when I saw it was that matchup, I went, oh god, Hades is probably good against me. And then he didn't have Hades, so that was like really helpful. Yeah, that was where I was at. I was totally unprepared, but I knew it was a deck. I knew the mulligan and I knew the lines because it is kind of like a combo deck. So if you know what your trajectory is and you know what cards your opponent has access to, you can sort of start to develop a game plan. In the first game, I had an extra Clarabelle in case he's saying and then along came Zeus or whatever the new one's called on my 1-drop Clarabelle. And he ended up not having it, so then I was able to hard cast the Maui card that shuffles things. I don't even know the names of the cards in my deck. Anyway, so there's I know enough that I think once you know what cards your opponent has access to and you know what cards you have access to, you can start to develop game plans on the fly. And so that's kind of what I was doing. And yeah, that's the fun part about figuring out a new deck is figuring out what you're weak to, and it sucks to do it in top 8, but it happens. Sometimes
I just want to
you gotta show up.
I just want to say before we throw it to Garrick, I think it's so funny that like you said with the casters, we're trying so hard to make the story so interesting. We're writing about the heated rivalry between these two teams, and then we throw it to you guys, and you guys are like, Infinity's pretty cool. I don't know what I was doing. That's funny. No, but it's really cool to see that even though you guys weren't putting a ton of playtesting on this, you just know the card pool well enough, like you said, Braden, that once you know what you're up against, you kind of just let those lines fly. So Garrick, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I know you both have Emerald Steel and you have your Sapphire Steel Infinity deck sitting right next to you. Let's just tell the other two players, hey, it's not gonna happen. Last match we're playing Infinity for it all. But see, I told you, yeah.
There it is. There it is.
Oh no. I'm getting
Braden, you better show up. You better show up. Get it out.
Oh god,
Justin was just playing all the Sapphire and Steel cards that he didn't want in his Infinity deck for core today. That's what was happening.
Which deck?
I have two Infinity decks on me. I have red.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay.
And then I got the real sauce, the enchanted.
Yeah. Your signature.
What did I miss? What's the cramming for Infinity for? I must have missed something. We've got a deal.
It is super fun. Yeah.
Also, the side events pay out crazy well. You go X1.
Sure.
You basically get a playmat. That's pretty good.
And you get a Mulan just for showing up. Don't even have to get 3 wins.
I'm focused on the wrong format, okay? Richmond's in 10 days for core. Who cares?
Oh, let me tell you, I was streaming in our Discord the other night, and people kept hopping in and asking me what I'm playing in Richmond, and I literally changed the name of the you can change the name of a Discord channel.
Yes.
Do not ask me what I'm playing in Richmond because I'm so distraught. I have no idea what I'm playing. I was gonna play one deck. I was gonna play whatever Cran plays, but he keeps changing his mind so fast I can't keep up with him. So I've just given up on that.
Once again, the caster story is crumbling. I'm telling everybody in the pre-show, we could be hiding our decks for Richmond, and we are hiding them, but not intentionally. Okay, we just don't know.
I wish I could
what
find
we're
it.
playing.
I wish I could find it. Trust me, it's somewhere. I just don't know where.
Yeah, it's
Can I
hiding from
interest you in Nick Wild?
What was that?
Nick Wild.
Can I interest you in some Nick Wild?
I had to ask the judge for what the card did. I didn't even know. That's how uninformed I am.
Yeah, when that Judy Hopps didn't get banished on the challenge, I saw your face wait. That's resist too? Hold on.
Yeah.
They don't trade?
I'll be real. That card's in the cube. I know what that card does.
Okay.
You have an enchanted one of that, right? In there?
No. I got enchanted for
Nick,
Christmas
right?
from all my friends. It's so great.
Okay. Yeah.
No, just got an enchanted Tiana, an enchanted Chernobog, and enchanted Rockstar Stitch, which I'm like super hyped about.
Nice.
It's gonna be
You're
max.
cooking.
I have the Let It Go from the DLCs, the non-foil one. I'm pretty hyped
Yeah.
about that one. Yeah.
I need to
it's
play this cube,
fun.
dude. Every time I see it, I'm
I do.
salivating to play it in
One sec.
person.
One sec.
Yeah.
Let me
Okay.
Grab it.
We got to get. We had a special
okay,
ICL Infinity
got-
play, and now we got to do the cube play for ICL.
I got these cube imajigs. You can buy them on cubeimajigs.com, probably. I don't know. And they're like booster packs for your cubes, so you can like. Isn't this? Look at this. Isn't that fun?
That is sick. Is that a lucky
That's
dime?
pretty cool.
Yeah, it was lucky dime. We got a little lucky on that one.
It's pretty
let's
good. It's
go.
pretty good.
Legendary first pack, first pull. We got a lucky dime.
Half the cube is legendaries. Okay, let's
All right, fair enough. I did have actually one gameplay question, and we'll see what your thoughts are. There in game number 2, you did have the Prince Philip, the warded one, on the board. You were facing down like 3 lore on the opposite side. You did go to exert 3. I was thinking Justin wasn't putting you under too much pressure, but if you have the combo, you might as well just do it. Were you thinking about just doing something else, developing your board a little bit, and saving the combo for potentially a juicier play down the line?
I had I think on that turn I had a Clairbow Shift available, unless maybe I'd already waited a turn. But basically there was a turn where my hand was like the entire combo, like I think it was like maybe the 3-drop was in play already, so it's just the big one in the malicious, and then I had a Clairbell, and I was just trying to. He had 2 cards in hand, and I was trying to figure out like. I was basically thinking like, okay, if he plays Goliath next turn, he's locked into having 2 cards in hand anyway, and I think that's like one of his best plays next turn if I wipe his board here. So I think it's better to just wipe the board here, make him play the Goliath, and then draw the 2 cards off the Clairbow because I'll go down to 0 cards in hand. But I could be confused, but I think that's kind of where I was at.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, for sure. I think it was your 7 ink turn. I could be wrong. Anyway, you had one of the warded Prince Philip out, so you didn't immediately slam it. So we were just curious what you were thinking about there. But that was all the questions on my end.
I was thinking about hard casting the Clarabelle and just like, but then I still have the combo in my hand at 2, and so then I was thinking like, I can, like malicious. I can just sing Malicious Me and Scary, go down to 1 card in hand, and then play the Clairbell and then draw up. But then I'm only at 8 on the next turn, so I don't get to like do the thing. So that's kind of where I was at. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, we'll have to make sure that Luke puts an ICL exhibition match for Infinity format just between you two specifically, since you guys are so excited.
I'd love to do Green Steel versus Blue Steel because like I did like 9 games against Sky and I went 4 and 5 against him, and I just think it's a really fun matchup. So like if you ever did want to do that, I'd love to do some Blue Steel, as long as you don't play Kiwi. If you play Kiwi, that's like not a game. But if you play like
all the
you play the good, the best, whatever. Yeah, the Kiwi's terrible. No one play Kiwi. Don't play that in Rishon. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Put it in the chat. Let us know. Let's make it happen. Okay, we want to see an exhibition match, Infinity, between these two specifically. But before we let you guys go, because we have an all-important Game 3 to settle the score here, Justin, we'll start with you. Are there any shout-outs that you want to give?
Yeah, just shout out SLTC. Shout out my wife. She's great. She takes care of the Lorcana community by judging for all the tournaments. And our Christmas tree that has caused me so many issues, but it's so beautiful.
Yeah, shout out to the judges. That's awesome. I didn't know your wife was a judge, so very cool. And Braden, throwing it over to you. What shout outs do you want to give? The Loungers got a lot of shout outs earlier. I don't know if you heard on the last round. Okay, you guys got plenty of shout outs. Well, let's do some more.
All right.
You actually shouted out every single person in the server by name alphabetically.
That's impressive. Also, it would reveal, Garrick, you might have a little bias. Actually, you're probably in both these Discords. You sly devil.
I'm playing both sides, brother.
Yeah. Anyway, I just want to shout out. I set up a system where before DLCs, each color combination has like a person who organizes meetings, and Fungus is the organizer for our green blue group. And I just want to thank him for organizing an amazing meeting last night that helped me learn a lot about the deck and the various matchups, and to kind of have some frame of mind for like how the deck actually operates, because honestly before last night I really did not know how this deck worked. I mean, I like played against it a lot and like understood enough to beat it, but not enough to like mulligan or understand like what my position was in different matchups. So I really want to just give out a shout out to Fungus. I don't know if he offers coaching. He's probably honestly too busy, but he does make content on YouTube, and I hope you check it out.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you both for the very awesome game. Another 2-0. So hopefully on this next one, we can see it go to a game 3 for our match number 3. But we are going to let you guys go. We're going to throw it back over on our end to production and get our game 3 started.
See you guys.
Boom. Although I think we're all muted. Let's see.
That was
we're all
a
interviewed.
super wholesome interview, and I loved it. Shout out to Jack Shadow, shout out to Braden, shout out SLTC, shout out Loungers.
JD, you're muted.
Yeah, that was fun. That was nice. And we're here.
Great.
We're here.
I didn't even know I was on. I didn't even know I was in here, man. I'm out here just hanging out in the wilderness over here. Am I digging in my nose? Was I out here in my face?
We saw the whole thing.
I'm kidding. Oh, hey everyone! I saw that game. It was nice. I enjoyed it. It was very good. I wanted the detectives to win, though. Unfortunately for Braden. Shout out to Braden, though.
Well, if detectives won, we wouldn't have this game 3 for everything.
It's true.
And it all comes down to this. All the marbles. I love it, Luke. How have you been, Luke? It's been a long time. How was your holiday season? Willow Beats has been
pretty good.
Not as long of a time. I just saw
It's
you
good to see
recently
you.
down
All
in
the same.
Pro Play Games in Orlando. Are you still running those cookies or not?
Oh yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Back in the box.
Save that.
Yeah. Well, we got some more important Lorcana matters to tend to.
My bad. We'll talk about that later. Okay, that's for the initiated only. That was for the. But
I want to know more about these boxes of cookies.
Oh, that's it. That's right. We got shortbread. We got some Girl Scouts. Huh? A little bit of caramel delights.
Thin mint. Don't sleep on the
Caramels
thin
and
mint.
Thin Mints. Caramels and Thin Mints.
Yeah. Good times all around. But what about this match, Luke? Who'd you pull for? And who'd you put your who'd you give the curse to at the beginning of the match? I missed it.
I actually did not curse anyone. I said that Fumbles would win, and Fumbles won. But we've been doing we changed it up this time to not give anyone any advantages randomly by saying like who everyone's playing right away. So they don't know. So this is the first time people didn't even know who was playing in round 3 till right now.
Okay. But they knew the lineup, but they didn't know the lineup.
Yeah, they didn't know the lineup until this part right here.
I like that.
And so we kind of have 4 of us. Yeah, we have 4 of us here, so then we can do the predictions for this next match.
Yeah, because this is the big reveal right here.
Okay. I like the matchup. First of all, I gotta say these are 2 handsome hunks. Okay. But I think I'm kind of leaning towards France here, even though he's going to be on the draw, because that suit. I mean, he looks like he can really move some insurance. He looks like he can really get you some timeshares. He can close that deal. I like the suit. Not a big fan of the t-shirt cap combination. I think, come on, man, you look like a Pokemon trainer. Get over yourself. I'm going with France here, just based on the trip alone.
Well, I feel like hopefully Dylan won't be upset with me, but I'm rooting for Dylan so much that I'm going hold on, someone else talk for a second while
well, I will take it over while we get this little surprise, because you mentioned something is happening, and while that's happening, I'm going to tell you about JDZ's Pick'em here, also known as Travers Tavern, on Twitter, on the Lorcana Sphere online, if you're familiar. So DLC 4th, top 64, DLC Vegas, top 64, DLC NA Continentals LCQ finalists. So we've got some stuff under our belts, or under our tie, maybe, because we're in the suit.
Under our penny loafers, perhaps. I'm not sure what we've got down on the feet there, but
Okay. We got Dylan Edgar in the building, holding it down. 75th DLC Milwaukee, 9th DLC Toronto. That's pretty good. That would be kind of stinky though. Getting 9th, one spot away from that Golden Mickey. 33rd NA Continental. So we got a knockdown, drag out, battle royale, winner take all. I know there's some bad blood in here. Okay, forget everything that you heard from Jack Shadows and Braden. these two players want to win it all. Woo! Woo! Look at that pick right there. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Now, make that your photograph. But what we do have to normalize here, and I'm talking all the gentlemen out there. Let's get out of that cell phone. Let's get those eyes right into that mirror there, and let's really push that picture up to the next level. Garrick, thoughts?
I like it. You saw I posted like 20 selfies in the server the other day with all the new outfits that I've been buying because I've been trying to, level up a little bit the wardrobe. But I agree with you. Stare into the eyes of the
observer of the photograph there. Or maybe you can look off into the distance to the upper top left, maybe to the upper top right if you want.
Perhaps
one of those. Maybe a little pose.
Looking into the screen, I think you're right.
Yeah, give the people a little something what they want to see.
I agree with you.
Getting into the cell phone there, it just I don't know about that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
You're on the
So you're still Team Franz because even when Dylan is looking nice and snappy, he's looking into the cell phone.
Yeah.
I mean, I see.
That's and Willoughby to that point. That's giving me that you're about yourself. You're trying to look at yourself. We need to be looking at. You need to share the gorgeousness with the world. Not so much with yourself there. Look at that face that Franz has there. He's locked in. He's ready to move some gently used cars. Come on down to Trevor's Tavern, and we'll put you in a new Corolla today. Okay.
A new Corolla? How many miles is on that thing?
Hey, let me tell you, a nice new. When I say new, I mean new to you. Okay, gently used
new
Corolla,
car smell.
11,000 miles, 4% down payment.
Oh, I love that.
0% APR. We can get you into that car today. Come on down to the Traverse Tavern.
This guy is always trying to sell something. At PPG, he was looking for a deal as the car salesman, throwing it back to his first ever card reveal. He was selling us on the hamster ball, and now he's selling us something again. Jay-Z, what are you doing here?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I have to do it. But I'm kidding. I think there's going to be a great match. I'm looking forward to it. We do have Dylan. He's going to be on the play. I don't know what their tendencies might be. Like, we are kind of in this late phase of the Whispers in the Well meta, which has been a very successful meta game in my opinion. There are so many decks that are viable. Garrick and I were just talking about that on the episode that we just recorded or shot live. We talked about the different decks that you can play. Have we seen what did SLTC? They in round 1 they played Ruby and Amethyst. Round 2 they played Sapphire Steel, so they still have access to what I believe is the best deck, Amethyst Steel. We got a lot of big dogs still floating around in the deck still left available.
Big dogs. I see what you're doing there.
Are you leaking? Wait a minute. Are we leaking?
The three best decks in the format they have not played yet. So that's what we're getting at.
Braden did go blue-green there. He had a blue-green.
I'm talking about SLTC.
Okay. Yeah. So they have access to all of the best strats on the play. And I think it's going to be a great match, but will not be denied. I know the Loungers put in a lot of work in preparing for their tournament runs and their tournament participation for the ICL. I know they put the reps in. They kind of are going to strategize and bring a competent, capable deck. So I'm certain it's going to be a great match as soon as we get a chance to see what it's going to be. As Fumble says, Dylan is playing Redacted. I like that. I like that strat. The Redacted meta. Let's bring it back. Okay.
I think it's 1-1. Willow and I have not selected. No,
we haven't done it yet. Okay, but I'll do it right now. And I can't resist a man in a suit as well. Okay, he looks like he's trying to sell me some real estate, so I think I'm gonna go with Franz, with Traverse Tavern here. Okay, I want to see the Loungers come back after last time SLT beat them. No more. Okay, so that's what I'm going for.
All right, I picked Loungers last round. I got to be honest, I'm tired of being sold something, man. I just want to hang out. Maybe I just want to hang out with the guy in a t-shirt and a hat with a beautiful smile. Okay. He seems very friendly. I'm going with Dylan.
All right, you're right. I like it. Woo! Let's get it. Let's go, Snobby, with the dub, supporting the ICL from afar. We do appreciate the support, Snobby, and what you're doing for the ICL. Shout out to all the judges or lore guys, as they may be in the city streets these days. It's going to take a little time for me to get that brought into my frontal cortex of lore guides. But amazing shout out to Snobby, and thanks for everything he does for the community as well. So you look like we have a little bit of aggressive situation here as aggro versus aggro. The Emerald and Amber versus Amber and Steel with Pluto. What do you know about that? Is that a deck you've seen? Yeah, is that on the radar? Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently I got
Wonderland, you're
muted.
muted.
I got muted for a second there. When I went to go talk to the players. I wonder if I was muted that whole time then. I probably was.
Dang.
Well,
it would be an
anyways.
ICL without Luke being muted, but much
Yeah,
love.
and for every week we go without an episode, it makes me more muted.
Yeah.
Like I'll do it more often. But I was saying, well, massive shout outs to Snobby. I guess I was muted during that. But it's doing this right here. Pluto or Aurora into a turn 2 Tiana. And it's just trying to go fast.
Yeah, so it's basically like the Aurora into, but without that, you can just Aurora anyone because Pluto is going to be able to use his ability. As we're going to go Ursula Deceiver coming on through, so the dogs are barking as it may be, or we're going to call it the D&D strategy, as Garrick has now corrected me that there are just as many ducks in the deck as there are dogs these days. We're going to play the Tramp down as well, so the board is massive, and the dogs are doing what you pay them to do, and this is looking really, really good for Dylan. We're gonna have a super fast match here either way, Luke.
Oh yeah. This Tiana versus the world right here.
How strong is that restaurant owner? I don't think enough, okay? Because it looks like this board now you're set up for a nice, wonderful tramp. Oh, and by the way, we do have that Chromacon. It is in play, I believe. I don't think it's in the discard pile. I believe that it might be in the discard pile due to the Bobby Zimmerowski, I would say. So it is discarded, but you are set up for a nice Tramp 7 to come in on your next turn. And you just have this one lonely Tiana. You don't have any lore pressure established as you would like to be in the driver's seat with this Amber Steel deck.
So there's a world that we could play a character to sing strength, take out a lady, which takes out 2 questing power, and then maybe develop a couple more challengers, and we can try to stall Dylan out around 13-14 lore. Anala is not going to help with that. The Daisy probably not too much, and we don't even. I guess we're trying to race.
Yeah.
Which.
I mean, mathematically, I guess you kind of could if you don't.
Yeah, we're gaining 7.
Tramp. Never mind, the Tramp is going to come down.
If we don't hit the card that sings Under the Sea, we're golden, right? If they don't have it.
And we are digging. Maybe there's a world where France can find a series of Pete's Games referee while hitting the gas pedal. That could be a solid rebuttal. But if Dylan does locate the Under the Sea on this next turn, the game is virtually over from that spot.
So Franz does get a quest for 7, and Dylan's only questing for 7 and then 9. But there could be a world that, well, never mind.
That will be able to come on through. Tax, no tax. The Ursula now should be strong enough with that Tramp boost. Tramp is going to be able to add 1 additional strength for every character you have in play. So that Ursula is strong enough to go through Tiana, Tax, or Gnaw. And then we'll add another Daisy to our hand with
so
that
much
quest.
lore.
Jeez. Man, how do you beat this dogs deck? Look, what are you playing for the DLC? Let's talk about that really quick. Well, we got an immediate takedown. We haven't had a chance to have Luke on stream in a while, and I want to hear your thoughts.
Here, I'll put us in an ad so people can't hear it.
Yeah, so people can't hear it.
But the secret is I don't know.
Oh no,
I've played a few different things. I was testing out Rockstar decks for a while. Mostly started that because of the LCC. And then I got a glimmer of hope that I was like, oh my goodness, there's times that this is really good. I'm not going to play my best list in the LCC because I don't want to spoil it. Right. And I can only change a certain amount of cards, and I drastically changed the list. And it's a weird deck that you kind of had to change multiple cards at a time for each change. You can't just change one card and see it do anything. So I could have maybe gotten to a list I wanted after a few weeks of changing part at a time. But I quickly jumped off of Goliath. It just wasn't good enough. Sometimes it's good, but I tried a few versions. I tried a very aggressive version that was also playing Tiana, right? Because I was playing Pluto and Aurora to try to just
throw Tiana in there.
Yep, to just throw an early Tiana who could then sing a strength.
Yeah.
Buy me time to play Rockstar, win the game. My bad matchup was Amethyst Steel, and I was losing to 1, 2, 3, 4 strength. And
like everyone
Yeah, and turn 2 Tiana, singing Strength is a way to prevent that from happening because you take out their singer 3. And then they don't have, like, they can't challenge her down as well. So
Are you
like,
doing a Troubadour or are you off that guy? You never were on him.
I tested both of them. I ended up
Okay.
not liking it, even though I was running 4 Strength and 4 whatever. But
Okay.
I did see a list. Well, Habibi, anyways, shout out there, tweeted about Doc and We Know the Way. No, the card from DuckTales theme song.
Delamoon Lullaby? Rewrite History?
The one that returns a character.
Returns the character to the hand?
Yeah.
Is it I know it's one. I won't say it's Rewrite History. I want to say I can't remember. But we got the card read. I guess you can pull it up.
Yeah, I think it's that one. It's the Amber one.
The Amber one. Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, it is Rewrite History.
Yeah.
This and Doc.
Yeah. Oh, Return it from the discard. Yeah, that's a cool little setup. I've seen that. That being a song is kind of cool.
And that's another card that makes other cards such as the Gigantic Aerial better, makes the Singer 4 better, and all sorts of things like that.
Okay.
I was trying BR Guest. The quickly dropped BR.
Got it out of there.
Yeah. I love the card, but the format's just so quick compared to before.
Yeah,
and it's weird.
I'm still in the weird deck limbo area of what to play and what to.
I think a lot of people are.
It's wild, man. It's a. I wish I was just not having to make these choices, but here I am in the dojo, dude, and I gotta try to win this thing.
And then after Rockstar, I thought I broke the format by testing out a version of Spessie's deck that changed colors but went over the same premise. And my worst matchup was still Amethyst Steel, but I was like 45% into it instead of like 30, which like a lot of decks when they're like, my bad matchup's Purple Steel. It's not a bad matchup. It's like a nightmare, right? It's like you're almost never winning that matchup. Like you're losing 0-2 most of the time. But this list, like even on the draw, is winning sometimes. And it was just like very whatever. But then I played against Dogs. And I'll tell you, the card Show Me More is never a card you ever want to play against dogs. Like, oh my goodness.
What? I don't know how to, honestly, I think the Dogs deck is like probably the best deck. It's
Amethyst Steel and Dogs are probably the best 2 decks in the format, with possibly blue green, which I've played at a few events in a row. I obviously think it's powerful. Those are probably the best 3 decks, hands down. I think most people know that. Some people might disagree and say Dogs isn't that good, or they say blue green's not good enough. Almost everyone can agree that Amethyst Steel is at least one of the best decks in the format, if not the best deck. And if you don't expect to see it played a bunch and you play a deck that loses to it, you're not going to do well. And I took that to heart in my testing, and that is one of the reasons I didn't play Rockstar a lot. I actually think there are versions of the Rockstar deck that can beat a lot of the decks, and especially without people playing Spooky Sight and whatnot. It's like easy to swarm. Under the Sea is still kind of irritating. Spooky Sight's a joke.
I thought Spooky Sight was gonna be much better than it ended up being. The card's kind of cheeks, and
I think
it stinks, man.
I actually think it's good in Infinity. But that's because you have 8 Piglet dot deck, right? Like you have to do that, and you're also playing 1,000 ramps, so you're playing it on turn 4. So like a turn 4, wipe your like 5 things that are gonna gain 1,000 ink. Hope you don't have Doc in hand. And we've got Franz here starting with a pretty good opening. This is another reason to play Pluto. Assuming that that's a Raja in play. Here, I'll pull one up here. I'm a big fan of this card, and I played this in some of the Rockstar versions as well, even though I tried to play mostly 1 and 2 drops for combo. But like this open of like turn 1 Pluto, turn 2 Raja is very good. You get to take advantage of the ramp from Pluto while also not losing the Pluto. And so like they have to have very specific cards to actually stop you from doing what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm digging this Pluto into Roger situation, and Roger is actually a really nice card coming in Whispering the Whale, being bodyguard and having tremendous stats, and also for a low cost coming in at 3 ink normally. I think that's a pretty nice return, bang for your buck. He's able to challenge and also fits quite nice into these aggressive strategies, as Franz now is in turbo mode on the play, getting down that lady on 3, followed up by a Lilo. accompanied by the Mulan. This is looking much more formidable for Franz as the Bobby Zimmerowski coming in, looking a bit slow. Pitching that movie super fast.
So Dylan could have had like ink shift and then challenge down. But we didn't have it. He also could possibly still play a tramp for 1 ink, pump up the Ursula and trade in, and then quest for 2 if we wanted.
Yeah, that's not bad. Getting through this Raja, I think, is mission critical because you're gonna have a huge quest coming in next turn, and then you still don't have the ability to send any challenges in to any of those characters. So they might be able to get 2 more quests off, and that is just going to be demise for you. So Dylan putting it all together, maybe still trying to build this wide board and get to the big body tramp, have him come on through and still lean on this under the sea play that can just flip this game right on his head almost instantaneously. So he's got plans. The game is not over just yet, but it's looking much better for Franz in this situation. I like Franz's spot. I might just take an aggro deck, dude, and just take him right to aggro town for this deal.
So
I'm not sure.
If you're going to play an aggro deck, then you probably want to play Amethyst Steel or Dogs.
Yeah.
And it feels weird to say that because Amethyst Steel can kind of be more of a mid-range deck. But the hyper aggro decks, the decks such as Speci Special or whatever he calls it, the Inkcaster deck. Yeah. Some people call it Burn, whatever. It gets crushed by Dogs. As I said earlier, playing a Show Me More against Dogs, they're like, show me more. They're like, Lady Daisy. All right, I just added 6 lore.
I will show you the world. Come on now.
Yeah.
That's not it.
And then they shift Lady and sing Under the Sea. And you just lose.
You just violated there. Dang. You hate to see it. As we do get a chance, we are going to send the Webby out, but don't have the strength to boost to take down that Raja. And here we go again. Franz seems to be off to the races as we are doing the patent pending finger tap count to see what we can go for. And I'm exerting these glimmers, and I'm not thinking twice about it, but I could be absolutely wrong here as we are going to add more to the fray. Daisy Duck and the Doc. Ooh,
so
you saw what's there.
The only time you don't just instantly quest is when you have to think it's like, if I quest with everything and they have a single tramp to take out my bodyguard, do I lose my entire board with no repercussions? And then if you do, then you have to then calculate, do I lose the game if I don't quest? Do I have to quest with everything here to not lose the game? And if the question is something in between, then sometimes you're like, well, I'm not going to quest with, say, this Mulan because it's only 1 lore and there's like multiple 1/3s or something that could easily take it out. Like if they do take my Raja, then the Mulan gets there. Maybe I want the Mulan to threaten trading with a lady post that, possibly. Not saying that that's the right play. It's just the thought process. So there is...
Okay.
Things you have to think about. In this scenario, in this time, it's probably fine to just jam it because you need to win the game before Under the Sea happens.
He got poor stats on the other side, so you'll get through with that tramp. He'll take someone down, but then you got a lot of zeros and a lot of ones over there, and like that's not going to be able to crack back too hard. But coming in from the chat, Snobby says, no need to finger tap count anymore because calculators are legal now. I did not know that. Do you know calculators are in? Somebody's gonna. I guarantee you're gonna have the big body. People gonna be typing, having the this is my calculator. It's a freaking Apple MacBook Air on the table. Yeah, this is my calculator, man. I'm calculating, writing the whole haiku on their freaking opponent.
Does it matter? What are they gonna put sideboard notes into their sideboard? Spend half an hour trying to be sneaky, looking at their sideboard. A single judge walks behind them, sees it, just DQs them. I think it's fine.
For sure. Like taking note. They should just make note taking legal and just make it like try to make rules about how you can take notes, but just make it like
so
we can take a quick
does
little
everybody in Yu-Gi-Oh use a calculator?
Yes, 100%.
Why do you not just use?
Because the life points are like 8,000. We're not doing small value math over here.
But how aren't most of the interactions like in the hundreds or thousands of damage, or is there cards that are like deal 25 damage, 24 damage?
It's all like round. It's like inflation. It's hyperinflation. It's all rounded up. Like they could literally just drop some zeros off of there.
Yeah,
but sometimes they'll drop like 1,700, and then they'll have 1,600. I mean, the math is not the hardest math.
Can't you just drop 2 zeros off and start at 80 life?
You can. They easily could have done that, but there are some 50s in there too that kind of throw it off.
There's like a 450 or something like that.
There is sometimes they could put like a little 50, a little 1750 in there.
Okay.
You know,
just put 0.5. Just
They
put
could.
0.5.
You could do that. You could
I'm
definitely
magic
do that.
pilled though. I'm magic
You
pilled.
could.
What do we have here for
I
France?
always thought that was ridiculous, but it is what it is. As they are now, we do get to that tramp. So now, if we don't have that Pete coming in on our next turn, we have opened ourselves up to a robust and vigorous Under the Sea that could really get after you on the following turn. So France has to be hyper aware of that and understanding that Under the Sea is a very, very powerful threat after that tramp. Maybe he's got it. Pete would be phenomenal here coming in on that next turn. We are going to do a little bit of board clearing. Ursula Deceiver getting active into the fight zone, taking down a Mulan in a clean one-on-one combat-like situation there.
So it's kind of a rough spot because, sure, you could send some characters after some of theirs, but then Franz's daisies just get combat daisy is secret best daisy.
Yeah.
Just finish off some ladies. Dylan's at a fairly low amount of cards. You don't want to be questing to refill his hand unless you're like 2-tapping to win the game.
Yeah, that's 7. So in the back row alone, you're pressuring 5. That'll get you up to that 12 threshold. If this lady and Lilo can both survive, that's going to send another 4-piece your way. Pluto's looking
1380, 1930.
Oh, that was can't forget about Reaper of the Card. Yeah, that was crazy. Reaper of the Cards and also Castle of Dark Illusions. Remember that guy? It's 1920 with a 920. He was 920 attack, 19
banned.
Get
I would
it out
just
of here. Like
make a
720.
special format. Everyone drops 2 zeros. You ban like 5 cards. Game's better. Like calculators. Come on, bro. Do some mental math.
I agree. I personally, I thought it was cool. It was. I like the fact we're adding calculators to our game too, as we are going to get a nice little clear there. You got some quality plus, but like you said, you did set up for 2 very positive Daisy Duck interactions. So if Franz wants to engage here, you can get a nice little board clear, and you're not even going to play in for the Pete.
I wonder if
you don't have it.
I wonder what the thought of the math there was of like, oh,
we are questing, huh?
We need to be challenging soon, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's scary. Now, seeing a second tramp with an active tramp is terrifying if I'm Franz, as we are going for it again. And Raja is being added to hand. So if you got some quality discard fodder for your tramp as well. So you can play tramp, maybe go into another tramp and just dig for the Under the Sea and still have active singers available to clear this board. This game is not over. Big Quest coming in. Doc and Lady getting loose, getting up to 14. Send the Pluto as well. Get him active, because this is the game on the line next turn.
All right, we ink Mowgli, hit Under the Sea out of hand.
Ooh.
Or we could just be, sure, you have it. I'm just going to hope you don't have 2 of them, and I'm going to play like Nala 1 and like Daisy next turn, or like Daisy 1-drop, and try to win that way before Dylan can quest twice.
Did Dylan show it? He didn't. I couldn't see the hand that well, but I don't think I saw an emerald card. So I don't think Under the Sea exists at this moment, but he's digging for it. He's discarding with a lot of speed and vigor. Maybe that's an indicator that we got it. Do you have it? Gogo's down. We're getting all the webbies down. Uh-oh. Yeah, we are. No, another one. We are tramp number 3 on the board. This should be illegal. Come on, man. Let's figure this out.
5, 6, and 7.
Dang. I don't think he got it again there. So maybe you've cut Under the Sea from the deck, as you may have felt that Under the Sea isn't the strongest in the meta. Like I said, it's not the best against Amethyst.
That's Under the Sea.
Oh, we got it. Never mind. Forget I said anything. Okay, we are going to go ahead and get it going, as Franz had to expect that realization. But I know that some Illumineers have cut Under the Sea from the strat, which I don't know is correct at all. But it's not as good against blue-green. It's not that good against the blue or the Amethyst Steel. It's great in the mirror. I think it's mandatory in the mirror.
It's great in the mirror. It's not even terrible against the Amethyst decks, honestly. There's like Genies
Elsa's.
and Elsa's. Oh my. Had the do you have the secondary one, but I think Dylan has just enough lore that it didn't matter.
Dang, you go all in, and sometimes it comes up Snake Eyes as the SLTC is going to get it done. Traverse Tavern put up a good fight, but Dylan was too much to bear as the dogs came out barking. There are a lot of 2-0s tonight, Luke. What do you think of that? What do you make of that? We haven't seen that many 2-0s in the ICL in a really long time.
Well, it means that there's nope, I think all the other matches are finishing. All right, well, let's jump on over.
Okay.
It could just be matchups as well. Could be one-sided.
All right. Gentlemen, here we are at the ICL in game number 3. The Dogs versus Amber and Steel. Dylan comes out, gets it done, and secures victory for the SLTC, and you'll be moving on to the next round. So first, I got to say congratulations to you and your performance in the stellar season. But really quickly, I just want to talk to you about the deck that you brought for this event, the Dogs. Luke and I were talking. We believe it's one of the best decks in the entire format, and you brought it to this event, and it showed up and showed out in a great way. Can you just talk about your strategy and why did you bring it, and any spicy includes that you may have added to the deck? If none, it's okay. Don't worry.
So it's really quite simple. I'm Canadian, therefore I must play dogs because all of the top Canadian players play dogs. On a more serious note, basically when we were talking about lineups, we figured there's probably a 0% chance that purple steel goes last. Like that's not something that you want to save for last. And I feel like the only really hard matchup for this deck is purple steel. So that's mostly why I ran it. Plus it's like I won't say I've taken a break from Lorcana, but I have not played nearly as much Lorcana as I used to. And so I swapped over. When the rotation happened, I was trying to figure out what to play because I was mostly known as a purple player before. I ended up playing quite a bit of dogs last set. I didn't end up taking it to Milwaukee. I actually ended up taking Blue Steel Yacht Club. Shout out to Justin and Dave for that deck because that deck was sick. But I was within a playtest session with Fumbles at a random hotel lobby from playing dogs in Milwaukee. So I've just played dogs a lot this set. Not really spicy inclusion so much as just like I teched a one of Heffalumps and Woozles instead of the third. I don't even know what this card is called. It's in my deck. 1 second.
Delamoon's Lullaby.
Delamoon's Lullaby, yeah. I don't know. This card's good, but Heffalumps is just randomly good sometimes. But realistically, they both just say sing, kill, target Iago. And then I am still on the Shift Webby package. I'm playing 2. I think the card's really good against blue. Like really good against blue. If I was going to Milwaukee or if I was going to Richmond, I probably wouldn't play the Webby. But if I'm not playing against Purple Steel last, I figured I was a chance that I'd play against a blue deck. So I teched the 2 Webbies. Shout out to Diego and Josh for that inclusion. And then also Raja, but I think that's pretty much standard right now. But I was pretty high on the card early, and I was happy to see that it's starting to catch on. So those are like what I would consider like quote unquote spicy. The rest of it is just like if it is a dog, it's in the deck.
Okay. And just talk about that matchup really quick. So you load up and you see your opponent is going to ink an amber and play a steel, or ink a steel and play an amber. We haven't seen amber steel too much, so I'm interested what Traverse Tavern has to say about that. But what are your thoughts about that matchup, Emerald and Amber versus Amethyst and Steel? Amber and Steel, excuse me.
If you're asking me, I apologize. I have no idea. I have not played against an Amber Steel deck since rotation, truth be told. So I have no idea how the matchup is. I assume it's good because it was good before rotation, but
okay. Well, we can. I guess we can. This is a good point. We can bring in Franz and kind of get your perspective. So I want to hear. Same question goes to you. Like, what are your thoughts on this matchup and why Amber and Steel in this in the ICL here? Why'd you bring that deck, and what are your thoughts on it overall?
For sure. First of all, the matchup into dogs is its worst matchup by far.
Oh, okay.
By a lot. It does everything that we do except faster. It challenges better and can beat us like very consistently with what you just saw, which is just chaining a tramp into an under the sea, and there's like not really much we can do about it unless we set up and have a Pete. The best way we can win this matchup is if we're setting up an early Rhino, which is a little bit harder for them to deal with early on, and while they're dealing with that, hopefully they do not rip out a strength, or if we find another strength off the top, so we can start removing the ladies, and then we can start setting up bodyguards with Raja and Tina. The Raja being added and then fire cannons being pretty much pulled out of the format is definitely something that is important for this deck specifically to get that Pluto into Raja on turn 2. It's very hard for a lot of decks to deal with that. But we did a little bit of research on the decks that were played in the past for SLTC, and we thought that we had an idea of the decks going second and third in those matches being decent matchups for Amber Steel. We essentially bet that they would be playing dogs first to take advantage of the going first, and we were unfortunately wrong. But they were great games. I felt pretty good about the way I played. I don't think game one was winnable. In game 2, the Daisy Duck loves to come out during the ICL playoffs and mess with me. So
the daisy flipping, you said it in our match. I don't think the casters have voice, but as soon as the daisy flipped the tramp, you're like, that was probably the worst possible thing could happen. I was like, yep, that was legitimately the only card that, like, if I flip tramp there, I just can actually try to find Under the Sea, and the first tramp found a second tramp, which found the Under the Sea. So we actually
as soon as the tramp comes down with an extra card in hand, it's almost impossible for me to win that matchup. I'm not only am I asking you to fade seven or 8 cards for the Under the Sea now I'm asking you to fade like 13 cards.
Yeah, and we did talk about playing dogs first, but the problem with that is that like we said, the only matchup that we were kind of scared of with dogs was Purple Steel, and there was like a 0% chance that you play Purple Steel as the third deck in this meta, so we just put dogs third, knowing that, and then we were like, okay, well, if we think we're putting Purple Steel first, let's play a deck that we think is good against Purple Steel, especially on the play. So that's why we ended up going where we did. Plus, we wanted to make sure we played all 6 colors, so we just practiced what we would play if we were playing 3 deck format: red, purple, blue, steel, and green, yellow. So
for sure.
Oh, nice. That's kind of cool. That's kind of poetic there. I like that. Okay. But one more question for you, Franz, before I kick it over to Luke. I know I can hog these interviews. I do apologize. Was there any thought there on that turn when you quested those daisies? Was there any consideration to use those daisies to challenge instead, or were you just like, hey, I got to win this game. I got a quest to win. That's all I'm trying to do. Or was there ever any thought to just maybe clear some of those characters off the board with those daisies when they were highly damaged?
Yeah, so with the daisies, there was absolutely consideration into putting some of those 1-cost characters down. But like I said earlier, that the deck quests faster than us. It challenges better than us. So if I'm turning daisies sideways without gaining any lore, I'm essentially losing them for free, and then they still have extra bodies on board that represent more lore than I can deal with. Maybe if I had a slightly faster lore start, where I was up to like 11 or 12 instead of I believe I was at 6 or 7, maybe 9.
You're at 7 before you did the big quest. Yeah.
That just I didn't feel good about leaving myself at like 10 lore and taking out two characters into a board of dogs there, especially with the amount of high end top decks that they can have.
Yeah. Okay. Just thought. I'm glad you explained it well. I mean, I thought the game was great. Still, obviously didn't work out for you in this situation, but I still thought the match was nice to watch. But Luke, I'm sorry, I'm over here. I know you're probably cooking in the background.
I was doing a little. We don't have another match set up, so I didn't have too much to do. We could maybe go jump to see the end of the ETB versus Incredibles, possibly, if you feel up to it. But we still can.
I'm up to it.
Yeah. It's dogs is so polarizing. Very few matchups feel like it's 50-50, and even when it's 50-50, the games don't feel 50-50.
No.
It's just
that's the other piece. Even if the matchup is 50-50, when you're actually playing the games, it is one way or the other. It is not. There's very few grindy games. They have existed, but there's not very many of them.
And that's kind of something a lot of the players have been complaining about in recent sets as well, myself included. It's too polarizing. I would like to play and have interaction with my opponents, which is why we wanted more removal. And then we got more removal, and it kind of didn't fix the problem, and I don't know. I don't know what's missing, but the polarizing matchups can be kind of brutal in that way. So like really he needed, like Franz needed to have that like Pluto into like Raja or Tiana, and then like Sing removal on maybe something, while Dylan's also stumbling, playing like Nala 1-drop, then a Pete on the turn that there could be Under the Sea, followed by another Pete to seal the deal, right? And
that's why I played Ursula on turn 2 this game, is because I was so scared when he played the Raja on turn 2 that he was going to be able to deploy 1-drop, 2-drop Sing Strength and kill kill my 1-drops and slow me down from my tramp anyway. So my plan and why I tanked for so long was I was going to go Ursula, hopefully get a song, or see that the coast is clear, and then triple 1-drop into dogs. But I think the real answer, to be honest with you, Luke, is that like dogs is so polarizing because like the mulligan is so good in this type of deck, because you're an aggro combo deck that you can reliably find your combo in the mulligan. It's actually kind of insane how often you can find 7-cost tramp in this deck compared to other combo decks. Like it's so reliable.
So you're just aggressively mulliganing for tramp?
Yeah. I will admit I am aggressively mulliganing for tramp a lot less since I started playing more with Josh and Diego and the other Slapshark guys. I have a local shout out to Weeb, Brian Weeb, who plays dogs very similar to Diego did, where he focuses a lot more on Chromicon lines. Depending on the matchup, I hardcore mulligan for tramp. Like if in this matchup as an example, like Lady Chromicon is not it. It's you want to challenge into them. Like Franz mentioned, he's like, they quest better than us, they challenge better than us. The reason that we challenge better is because of the 1/3 tramp. And so like I keep that in the mulligan. I keep like even Webby is decent in the mulligan. Like I keep things to trade. But after playing the deck more, Chromicon shift lady lines can like grind out against Blurple. You don't need to hard mulligan for tramp. But in the matchups that you think you need it, where like it's the Dog's Mirror or other aggro decks where it's tramp into Under the Sea, yeah, I'm hard mulling for tramp. As I'm keeping like 1 or 2 cards to make sure I have like a playable line, but you play 26 1-drops in this deck, like you can keep 1 and you have a playable hand.
Yeah, it seems similar to Ariel in previous Steel Song lists, where it's like you don't want to keep the whole new world just because you lose to an Ursula 2. The Ariel plays around that. There's nothing to punish you for that. So you get to keep the 7-cost tramp to get your Under the Sea, so you don't get blown out by a Mowgli or an Ursula 2 as well. It's very interesting how that works out. And as you said, the mulligan is so powerful. Is there anything you wanted to say, JD, before we do some shout outs here? And then
no, man. Like I said, I thought the game was great either way. I did want to ask you guys really quickly. We'll start with you. We'll start with you, Franz, and then we'll kick it over to Dylan. DLC is in less than 2 weeks. Okay, we're talking next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend. Really quick, Franz, what's going to win? What are you going to play? And then we'll kick same question over to Dylan before we kick it back to Luke for some shout outs.
I don't know what I'm going to play. I'm going to give a spicy red-purple wins take.
You're kidding. Red purple wins. I love the hot take. I love the tenacity.
Dude,
Red purple wins.
Dogs.
It can beat up on dogs.
Damone
and they can play that whale combo too. Look out for it. I think it can happen. What about you, Dylan? What do you think? What's going to win? What are you going to play?
I sadly cannot make Richmond this time. I don't get. I've got family duties that I cannot go to Richmond, and that's okay. Shout out to my wife who lets me play Lorcana and travel to places with the fact that we have a 10-month-old baby is the fact that I got to even go to Milwaukee was awesome. So I'm sad that I can't go. If I was going, I would probably be playing dogs or what I predict to win. I actually think there's a chance there's some spicy deck. There's maybe a blue steel list somewhere. But that's just my yacht club talking. Like I'm
huge eye roll coming in from France there.
How much did Adrian pay you to say that?
0. On a serious note, I actually think dogs will win. I think dogs is just. I don't think the purple steel matchup is nearly as bad as people are making out to be. I think it is bad. I think hilariously the red purple matchup on the draw is maybe worse because they just go fast. Like you can weirdly grind purple steel, but red purple could just go under you. And like all the things that Hans talked about of like dogs can quest faster and challenge better against Amber Steel. I actually think Red Purple can quest better and challenge into dogs better. So I'm actually
not even just challenge too. It's just like horseman coming down and taking out like any lady or even Tramp itself is just a huge swing in that board state.
And under the
so I don't
know.
I'm gonna say dogs, but I think there's Blue Steel somewhere. It was the same thing last, like Milwaukee. Everyone wrote off Blue Steel, and then there was a bunch of us that showed up, and I think we put 6 people in the top 64, and I missed 2. I think 2 of us missed top 64 on breakers. So that deck is just never actually truly dead.
What is dead may never die.
What is dead may never die.
There it is, dude. I think I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. But Luke, go ahead, please. I'm sorry. I'll shut up now.
Oh no, it's fine.
You never have to shut up.
They get to do shout outs. If you have nothing else, I'm good.
Oh, Jen, well, we'll start with you. Franz, anything you want to say? Any special shout outs? The floor is yours. Please don't take your time to bash Sapphire Steel. Let it die. Let it rest.
I'll never let it die. But shout out to the Loungers. Thank you guys for allowing me to play 2 seasons in a row and lose in game 3 in playoffs 2 seasons in a row. It feels great. Shout out to my amazing fiance who also allows me to travel around the country and play this silly little card game that I love for a lot of reasons. And shout out to Josh and Alex who've very quickly become my favorite testing partners. And shout out to my regional team in Team Unequables over there in Raleigh, North Carolina. Can't wait to have a good time in Richmond with all of you guys.
Nice. Okay. Cool. And we got Dylan in the building holding it down. Congratulations again on the victory. You guys push it through, take down the Loungers. You got a nice little rivalry brewing here. You guys keep putting the Loungers down in these playoff matches. But any shout outs you have, please go ahead and start it off.
I mean, just on
take
that,
it away. I'm so sorry.
Just on that topic, like shout out to Loungers. I know it's like a rivalry, and we do play into it a little bit, but I think it's more just for the memes and for fun at this point.
Mhm.
I actually love playing Loungers, and if we could do like show matches every once in a while, I think that'd be hilarious. Like just like rotate through the entire roster. So shout out to that. I don't think she's been mentioned yet, but shout out to Josie, who has been our manager all season and coordinated us hooligans with like. We're just a bunch of chickens with our head cut off, and Josie just like wrangles us together, goes, "Who's playing? Did you submit your deck list? Where the hell are you guys?" Like all the time. So shout out to Josie. Obviously shout out Justin and Rick. Shout out Justin and Rick, my teammates. SLTC as a whole. The Canadian boys for just like constantly going through dogs. Like just I respect the hell out of like Josh, Dale, Diego, Blazing Asian. Like just all of them, like Haymaker. I love all those guys, and I get to talk with them a ton, and it's been a ton of fun. I already shouted out my wife. I have a little bit of a special shout out. So a local of mine, because I haven't been playing a ton of Lorcana. Greg actually lent me 3 of the cards that I needed for this deck. The funny story about this is the 3 cards that I needed to borrow, I actually bought from him, and he realized that I bought them from him, and he needed them for his wife. And he actually was like, "Can I please buy them back from you?" And now I've just been borrowing those 3 cards whenever I needed them for stream matches. So shout out to him for letting me use those cards. They're not even expensive. I don't know why I don't have them. Like it's 2 ladies and a Lilo. Like they're not expensive.
Dude, that's awesome. I like that. People got to borrowing cards. I mean, that's kind of, I don't know. That's a thankless endeavor. You don't have to do it. So a lot of people, forget that. You don't have to do that. And I'm glad that they did that. You were able to get out here and get it in. But it was still an incredible matchup, man. I want to again thank you guys both for your participation over the season. It was an incredible season for both your guys' team. You guys should keep your heads held high, especially coming in from the Loungers. I really enjoy seeing you guys play. Big fan of a lot of people in your guys' organization. So I'm glad to see you guys are part of the ICL, and hopefully you continue to be a part of the ICL because you guys do make this place special and great. So please continue to do that. And I encourage you guys to continue to go on with this thing. But kicking back on over to you, Dylan. You guys got the dub. I'll be rooting for you into the following rounds, and we'll see you guys there in next week, I would say.
We'll be there.
Good luck, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. And with that, Luke, we're going back to the booth.
To the booth. All right, JD. You do have a great night.
I'm on Google Chrome. Dude. I'm chromed up for some reason. I don't know why I have that thing on Google
You're
Chrome.
chromed up.
I opened the thing, and now Google Chrome is my default browser, and it took my video link. That was a good match, man. Nice, clean. I like a nice little clean affair. A nice little clean game affair there.
Yeah.
You know, can't be mad at that.
So right after, I was like, we could go watch the ETB match. Like literally, like within a minute of that, they finished. So there is no other matches, but that's fine. We're gonna chit chat for just a few moments.
And literally just ended on us.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to figure out who all won, so we can say like obviously SLTC making it to the top 4. Apparently, there's an ad, so perfect timing for this ad to go off while I figure out who all won. ETB also, congratulations to making top 4. Last season's champs still in the running.
That's pretty dope. That's kind of cool. And we had a lot of teams that made the playoff the previous round made the playoffs again. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
And then Restand won 2-0 against the Ink Knights. So congratulations to them making it to the top 4. And that is a new team for this season. Even through the name change, it was new. And then Slab Sharks took down Never Shift 2-1 to make it. So congratulations to Slab Sharks and to Never Shift and to Ink Knights. The Incredibles and the Loungers for making it to the top 8 here, winning their first round. But so far, I think every team that has won has been the higher seed.
Dude, that's kind of crazy. I mean, I guess that's a huge advantage going first. I mean, we do have people think that the play draw thing has gotten a little bit better, but it's still an issue. I think it's not like perfect, so there's still problems there associated with going first in this game.
So it was one of the things was slightly mislabeled. So while they still won, but the Slab Sharks won 2-0 against Never Shift, and Restand won 2-0 against Ink Knights. So they did win one match on the play and one match on the draw. So that's why I don't think that the play draw dependency matters as much as the matchups matter. Because you'll see a lot of 2-0s. There was a lot of 2-1s today as well, actually. But like on stream today, it was like 2-0, 2-0.
And like it seems like if you get one bad matchup, you get at least 2 bad matchups. I don't know how that works out mathematically.
It falls to a certain way that like most likely it's because you have a plan. You're like, we're going to start with this because we think they'll do this, and then we'll do this and this and this, right? But if they counter that with the first one, they probably countered one of the other 2 as well. And so if they fully counter you, you just lose. Like that happened to Maelstrom a lot. In this meta at the beginning is like they just had very bad matchups lined up and got swept. And there were more sweeps in this season than in season 1. Now we added more teams, a few more players that weren't there before, but realistically, most of the best players in the world, they've always been here, right? So you can't just be like, oh, now it's the new players, because like Bivens was on Villain Club, right? Like he was around before. Like we have these great players doing well. It just happens to be that the meta is now a lot more punishing, for better or worse. That's just the way it is. And even when there's more decks to be played, that can still happen, right? We kind of just need... The format needs like one deck that is actually 50-50 against all the decks. And it's never like a blowout necessarily.
The only thing that's close to that, I think, is Amethyst Steel. I think they can get unless you have the Monstro stuff. I think that's like 100-0. I think they're.
But the Amethyst Steel deck feels like a blowout when it wins. Though is the problem. If they go 1, 2, 3, 4 strength, it doesn't feel.
I see
close.
what you're saying.
And the question is strength what's doing that? Is no interaction on turn 1 and 2 what's doing that? What's actually causing that issue? And I don't know.
I think strength might be a little too good. Maybe they shouldn't have brought it back. They should have gave us I don't know, Storm. No, let the Storm Rage on. No,
I love it.
Right?
I love it. I love
crazy?
it. Let's have Storm instead of strength. But yeah, strength or Storm is way not as good without Cindy. It's still good. Don't get me wrong. Strength is still a very good card, but without Cindy, without Shift cards on turn 2, it's not as good. It's still good with Troubadour and whatnot. It's still all right. Also, though, like the vanilla characters in general being upgraded also makes Storm worse. If like there's less 3/2s and more 3/3s.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Make them stronger. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, dude. I don't know. But how have you been though, Luke? How's your life going, man? How's everything with you?
It's been going. Christmas, got gifts, had fun with the family, got to eat some good food. It's freezing cold now. It'd be nice if that went away, but you know, it's just that. How about yourself?
I'm hanging tough, man. I'm chilling. I'm back in the saddle now. I know I took a little quick break myself, and I'm just trying to recalibrate and get back onto some kind of schedule, dude. So that's been kind of mid, to say the least. Trying to prepare for DLC. I got to get out there and play, which, you know, I'm not looking forward to that. I guess I am. It's gonna be fun, but I'm getting cooked, man.
You're getting cooked?
I feel myself getting cooked, dude. I can feel it.
Well, I'll let you know what I'm playing, and then if you want to, you can play it. But I don't know what I'm playing yet. When I figure it out, I'll let you know. How about that?
Dude, I think I might be playing Blurple, dude. I think Blurple might be the way for me. I mean, at least give me a chance to have a good time. At a minimum, I'm having a good time, I suppose.
But then you get paired up against like dogs a couple rounds, and you're just like, this is not fun. I don't even gonna play the game.
Gotta have some hot tech in there, dude. Maybe I find some hot tech. I don't know. I think I got it. What I have to stop doing is playing Voldemort, dude. I have to get off of Lorcanito. I think that's what I need to do. I need to find some people to play in paper, because this thing is just pissing me off more than anything. I hate it.
That's fair. That's fair.
I can't stand it. It just makes me want to quit the game. It's so bad. Some of the things that happen on there is just like so frustratingly mind-blowing.
So you did the podcast today, the Not a podcast today, and what are your schedules for the next few shifts?
Tomorrow is New Year's Eve, so I'm probably gonna do like a New Year's Eve thing, be streaming, and I'm gonna probably bust out the puzzle again, do another puzzle stream. And then
I'm sure this is popular. It's fun, but
New Year's
Day sounds like torture.
New Year's Day, I'm probably not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna kind of
you're gonna sleep because you stayed up 20 hours putting that puzzle together.
And then and after that, I should be back on my regular schedule. I gotta really focus on this. Are we still live?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. People are like, what the hell are these guys talking about? I'm so sorry. Oh, dude, I'll probably be focused on getting back into like doing more YouTube videos or something. Just trying to get ready. After Richmond, I'm probably gonna try to go all in on the content stuff. We'll see how it goes.
All right, but let's who you got, Luke? Don't say us. Habibi doesn't want me to root for ETB. We've got Restand, ETB, SLT, and Slab Sharks.
That's a lot of Canada in the top, man. That's a lot of Canada up there.
Well, this is their DLC circuit. I've got the Canadians back.
Yeah. That's a lot of Canada being represented up there.
I mean, Canada likes their Lorcana. I wouldn't mind going back to Canada for another big Lorcana event.
I would go. I go to Toronto for some Lorcana. I would. I think I would. I go to Vancouver for sure. For sure. If they did something in Vancouver, I would 1,000,000,000% go to Vancouver. Like without question. It's like close. I could drive there.
I was gonna say, like, I've got to fly no matter what. So
yeah, I could drive to Vancouver. I could hopefully do DLC Vancouver next year. That'd be so cool. Vancouver's a cool city. Although last time I was in Vancouver, I was like down in the Gastown area, like having a good old time. It's like imagine like like a tourist spot, like a big tourist spot with a lot of people are walking around. They got like the boats and all this kind of stuff. And then you take one turn down one corner and it just turns into like The Walking Dead. It was the most eerie thing I've seen, with just like people are just, it was a mess, but it was still a vibe though. It's still a cool town.
So with all those Canadians, which Canadians are you rooting for?
I think I'm going to be rooting for. I'm liking the Slab Sharks, dude. I'm liking the Slab Sharks. They got some great players over there. They got a lot of tenacity, a lot of sideline to sideline speed, a lot of good attitudes over there. I mean, I also have to go for the defending champions. I mean, I am a front runner. They did win it all before, so maybe they can do it again. ETB probably could get it done. Okay, I don't hate it. Restand coming back at it again. I think they could also make some noise.
So, ETB versus Incredibles, I was wrong. Incredibles were actually the higher seeds, so they played first.
Oh.
So ETB did win that on not playing first. Pretty sure.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
They should have played first. Based on the points mattering, which I'm sure it'll be something for the players to complain about. They don't like it. Most people, I'm the only person who apparently likes it, which is why we're not going to do it later, which is fine. You know, I'm not going to make, if everyone playing doesn't like a way something works, then like we'll fix it
no need
later
to,
on
like,
when it's
hold
fair.
people, piss people off.
Now, if I was also playing, maybe I would. If I was also playing and I really liked it, I'd be like, no, I like this. Let's do this. You'll like it too eventually.
So you're just straight biased, huh? You're not even afraid to admit it.
Yeah, I mean, if I played it and liked it, I've also not played it. I've only watched it. So from the consumer view, I like it. But I've done surveys because we were trying to figure out what's the best record you could have, right? So what's a better record? Someone who went 4-1 or someone who went 3-0? Because you have people who don't play as many games. So then it's like, who has the better record, right? One's 100%, but one's played twice as many games. Or you put it 5-1. What's better, 5-1 or 3-0? Like, right? Like, it's an interesting concept to think about. I respect the 5-1 more than the 3-0, honestly.
Facts. I can see that.
I mean, like, a 3-0 means that they were playing a very small event. Whereas in going 5-1 means you're playing in like a big event, most likely. As long as that's not also counting the top 8. Otherwise, those are both equally small events, right? It just meant that you lost in the finals of a set champs or something like that. A 12-person set champs. It's hard to say. Lots of concepts there. But anyways, people don't need to hear this aspect of the ranting. Doesn't matter. So we're going to raid somebody. Who's online right now? I don't even know.
Dude, no one, man. We're getting cooked.
I mean, we can raid. There's a Magic stream that is. Let me see if there's actually no one on. There's a few people playing Lorcana. We'll raid.
Yes. Send it to them, man. Send them that energy.
They're playing match right here. Raid Shadow Legends. Well, there was like a Magic charity stream. I still actually think I'm just going to do the Magic charity stream.
Are you?
It's a charity stream.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to... For some reason, when you said that, I thought you meant that you were going to do a charity stream while playing Magic.
Oh, well, maybe.
Play Magic on a charity stream.
If Lorcana comes out and they're like, we're not doing any more DLCs in Season 3, or they're like, we've got 2 DLCs in Season 3, yeah, I might look at other games.
Yeah.
And just play Lorcana as my secondary game. But
anything
I would
you're looking
like
at?
to. I mean, I did buy a One Piece deck, but it was $30 for the whole deck, right? I did the same thing with Pokemon. I spent like $200-300. I bought the whole meta before I ever went and played locals. I went and played locals and I didn't like it, so I like sold out of Pokemon. I don't like the best of one format. I didn't like the format itself. I could tell that there was some skill issues, and I was losing to those. Like where if I had played more, I would have won in certain issues, in certain aspects. But the gameplay itself wasn't fun. And honestly, like the top skill aspect didn't feel like you're outskilling your opponent as much as it was like memorizing your lines and seeing who gets to do their thing first. And I don't like that. That's just play chess, and chess has way more skill advantage in that too, I guess. But so I won't even say that. But Pokemon's not a game for me, I guess. I'm thinking about Riftbound, but it's really expensive right now.
It is. I think Riftbound would be. I think Riftbound would be a good one to play if you could afford it. But
the raid's about to auto fire right now in 5 seconds. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. There'll be some tweets made. I'll see you later.
Peace.